following is a UTV-44 sports production.
Friday night rivals. This is the UA Early College UTV-44 Game of the Week. Sponsored by Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
It's the oldest rivalry in Mobile. Murphy and McGill, they've played every year since 1935. And in 1953, they put a Civil War cannon at the loop. And at the end of every game, the winning team, well, their student body goes and paints that cannon the colors of their school. And tonight, it will either be orange or it will be blue. Our UTV-44 Game of the Week. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox. My partners, as always, Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett. And, Dan, we talked about it in the pregame show, but, the great rivalries just continue to roll on here as now we're 3 for 3.
Yeah, these are teams that
all for both of these teams tonight that will be making a big impact on this game.
Yeah, Eric Guerra is a tenacious cornerback from McGill-Toolen Catholic High School. Really good player, but they really haven't had a lot of production out of their wideouts. So you're going to see Eric also do some time on the offensive side of the ball simply because he may be among the most explosive players, and they need to get the ball in his hands. They have not scored a ton of points so far this year, so they're looking for a little juice on that side of the ball.
Yeah, well, juice on that side of the ball is what Murphy has at the quarterback position. And we didn't see quarterback play last year for Murphy as sitting out of the game was Maurice Robinson, and we're going to see him here tonight. He has got to be the one that just controls everything for Murphy if they want to get the win over McGill tonight.
That's right. He's the quarterback, and it's safe to say this offense is go as far as he will take them. It's safe to say this team will go as far as he will take them. Take a look at him there. You'll see he's got great legs, just a real good runner, and he's got some great passing stats as well to complement it. Already got offers from LSU and Bama and Troy. He's got that wiggle that you don't want to see when you're playing defense, Jim, because he will bring you to his knees.
Yeah, you talked about it's going to go through him. Week 1, their loss to Baker, 97% of their offense was accounted for by him.
Correct.
So they got to get some help out there tonight. It's going to be a great matchup. Murphy and McGill, like I said, they've been going at it since the 30s, which Dan and I started doing this shortly after the rivalry.
It seems like it
started. Tonight we're at the lip, Murphy and McGill, right here on UTV-44.
High school students, UA Early College has a place for you.
Hear from some of our current UA Early College students earning college credit.
I decided to join UA Early College because I felt like it was the best option for me. Ever since I was young, I knew that
McGill students want to paint the cannon tonight. Somebody's going to do it. Let's go down to the field and check in with Tara on the sideline. Muskegum Barnes, new head coach of the Panthers. Tell us about him, Tara.
Thanks, Jim. This Murphy-McGill matchup has continued as the oldest high school rivalry in the state of Alabama, but the coaching narrative this year has changed with both teams hiring new head coaches. Of course, for McGill, they promoted former defensive coordinator Coach Hill, and then Murphy's Coach Barnes is getting his first shot as a head coach, but Barnes has a promising future. He says he patterns his coaching style after his former head coach at LSU, a guy by the name of Nick Saban. He says the biggest thing that he took away from Saban was the importance of conditioning. So he has his guys running before, during, and after practice, even into the summer months to build stamina, and so that his guys are playing at their best well into the fourth quarter. So cramping will not be an issue for the Panthers tonight.
Yeah, he had Dan and I running in the parking lot of Metro PCS while we were taping the pregame show.
Embarrassed, I'll tell you, I visited him at Murphy on Tuesday, and I kind of cramped up leaving his office. It was very embarrassing.
You need a little pickle juice?
He got on me, and I thought, well, there's the Saban.
Well, I'll stay away from that guy because I'm not doing anything right unless there's food at the end.
Hey, I got news, though. He's really a great guy. We really enjoyed spending time with Mo Barnes.
Yeah, he said conditioning and discipline is also a word that discipline maybe a little Saban-esque.
Yeah, I think so.
As well. Yeah, his first time being a head coach, and really grew up in Moss Point, played over at LSU, and then coached with Eddie Guth and Coach Mike Bates over at St. Paul's, as assistant on their team when they won state back in 2007. And
he was
3 years was the assistant coach here for Coach Colley.
In between, he worked with Mike Gottfried and Team Focus, so he stayed right there with coaching. He also did a stint as the parks director back in his hometown of Moss Point, but he just missed this. He missed coaching.
Well, let's hope all of that translates to the field and we get a good football game and a good showing out of Murphy Panthers.
That'd be great. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, Rick.
Chase Mahler going to kick off for McGill-Toolen. Darnell Thomas back deep for the Murphy Panthers, along with Braxton Turk. Also back there is Lamar Harris. Mahler's got a big leg. Very high kick. Thomas at the 6. Up the middle, trying to bounce to the outside, and the 21-yard line is where he'll start. Bryson Massey out there on the tackle for the Yellow Jackets, and we'll see Murphy offense coming out here. 42-14 win for Coach Barnes last week. They lost to Baker to open things up in region play to start the season. Then they played Bryant last week, and they were able to get the victory 42-14. And Maurice Robinson counted for 4 touchdowns last week. He'll start with Breland Manley. Behind him is the running back. Manley will take it, trying to get to the right side. Out to the 26, and a late flag comes in. It looked like there might have been a hold on the edge there, but the timing of the flag came in. It looked like maybe.
Should have saw that already, huh?
Yeah, I just thought the flag seemed a little late, but it did look like a hold. One of those. If it was the.
And there's your confirmation.
Yeah, I think about A.J. Lewis, big tight end. Looked like he might have yellow gloves on, which draws a little extra attention when you're guilty as well. And this was something Muskegon Barnes talked about, was in fact
during the play, holding on the offensive team, 10-yard penalty from the spot, replay, first down.
Tim Barnes, our referee, but we talked about in the pregame show how they had cut the penalties down, so many in week 1 to just 2 last week, but now the first play from scrimmage, they get one here. First high snap, and Robinson able to get it out and could not get it to Lewis. He with the yellow gloves, and a little some confusion back there whether Manley was supposed to take the handoff or get that one quickly out of the flat. Here's the Murphy offense. They're young up front. Wheaton, Morgan, Andrews, Page, and Bowery. Bowery, the returning starter. They have not played a lot of these offensive linemen, but boy, they have some skilled players. They've got Noble, Jefferson, Lewis, and Sellers. Lewis, a lot of interest there. And then they'll use 3 different running backs tonight. Manley will be the starter, the sophomore.
Being coached by one of the best, those receivers.
Robinson tries to keep this one back up to the 20-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Panthers.
Yeah, Coach Marty McDowell has the receivers over there. He's volunteering with his alma mater, and he's really excited about that group, particularly Michael Jefferson.
Here's the defense.
Good-looking kid.
Rogers, Mitchell, Kennedy up front. Ladarius Cox will be there as well. He's got 3 sacks on the year. Massey, Dryce, McLean, and Sawyer Brady will start. Linebacker, keep your eye on Bennett. He's a ball hawk. He had 3 picks against Spanish Fort. 3rd and 13 here for the Panthers. Robinson pump fake, throws out this way. Pressure was coming. He threw it behind his intended receiver Jefferson, and McGill will force a 3-and-out. Boy, just that holding penalty on first down just
put him behind the chain.
Yep.
Yeah, and what I saw too was you had Gare, the very good corner from McGill, and a much taller Jefferson one-on-one, and then Robinson and Jefferson just not on the same page because Jefferson was striking upfield.
Yeah, I think he got rid of it. He was under heavy duress by that blitz there.
Darnell Thomas to punt. Low snap goes through his legs all the way back inside the 5, and now he's going to try to take off and get around the far end. Scrambles up to the 10, and McGill will have it 1st and goal at the 8, and a late flag on the play, but that will not alter the outcome of this one. Snap goes right through the legs of Darnell Harris, and
boy, at some point you think he might want to
try to get it off.
Yeah, punt that ball.
Yeah, he just thought he would probably be under so much pressure at this point. He just tries to get all he can get and didn't want to make a bad thing even worse.
Bryson Massey was the one who threw him down. Let's get the call.
The team penalty is declined. First down, red team.
You know, one of the coaches mentioned to me that they have never beat McGill in this stadium. And judging from this first series, I'm wondering if that is in their head.
Yeah, McGill has won 4 of the last 5, 6 of the last 8, and 9 of the last 12.
A lot of those games in dominating fashion, too.
Sheldon Lehman, quarterback. Hill. Now Lehman wants to keep this one. And nothing doing there on the right side. There's Jackson and Norman Weaver over there.
And John Patterson sticking his face in there as well. It's a game tackling group there.
Ernest Hill, first year at McGill. His 4th year as a head coach. He spent 3 years at Greenville, replaced Ben Blackman at Greenville. He was assistant coach on Ben Blackman's staff as well, and he'd been the DC here, and now head coach. Lehman dumps it out to the near side. He's got Coach Hill's son. That's Brian Hill, and he's got a receiving touchdown. Second touchdown toss of the year for Sheldon Lehman. First receiving touchdown for Brian Hill. And the Yellow Jackets take advantage.
Oakley Coleman with a big block right here at the goal line. Look at that.
Bo Hightower had a great one as well.
They stayed on their blocks, man.
Yeah, that's what they do. I mean, they do their job. You always look up at the scoreboard, and these guys are ahead because they do their job on a team basis. This is a team sport.
Sam Satterwhite to hold here for Chase Mahler. Trying to put the Yellow Jackets on top 7-0. Love this look. Coming right at you in your living room. No doubt about that one. And the Yellow Jackets take advantage of the turnover. It takes them 2 plays. And they lead their rivals from Midtown 7-0 here on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. Maybe student bodies, and they've been wasn't. They've all student body here at McGill.
Jim, won't you take a stroll through this student body and see what colors you can come out with?
Yeah, last week I lost my jersey, my game uniform, because it got white paint on it from a
golf shirt. Don't disrespect the jersey.
Second, 2 plays, 8 yards for the McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets, and they lead at 7-0. Yeah, I walked to the student section at Daphne last week and got white paint on. Like, here, my wife's like, sweetie, that's not coming out.
And he didn't have any money on him, and he got mugged.
I hope it came off the kids.
Darnell Thomas will watch this one go into the end zone, and see if Murphy can get things going a little better offensively than that first series, which was a disaster for the Panthers.
Well, was it 2 penalties or 1 single penalty, and then the miss catch on the punt?
Yeah,
penalty and a turnover.
Yeah, 2 incomplete passes. Hey, you can email us at heyguys@utv44.com. We'll do our best to answer questions throughout the broadcast tonight. Want to know something about Mick Lockett, his storied career? Let us know.
I would love a question directed to Vic Lockett about the time in Alabama and some of those players he played with.
Robinson gives this one off, and Anthony Miller checks in his first carry of the night, and that goes nowhere as McGill's defense. The numbers change, but the style in which they attack the football doesn't seem to change, does it, Vic?
Not at all. In my conversation with Coach Hill before the game is, okay, did you make any wholesale changes from last year to this year? And his simple response was, if it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. I agree with him. Got a system, got a program, stay with the process.
And he is a defensive-minded guy. He's always coached defense. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
No gain on the play. May have lost one. Call it 2nd and 11 for the Panthers. And this time it's Miller right up the middle, and he's got breakaway speed. Miller all the way down to the 30. The football's knocked away from behind, and it rolls forward to the 10, all the way toward the end zone, and recovered by the Yellow Jackets for what will be a touchback.
Wow. A lot of things on that play happened, huh?
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
I'm going to leave it to the expert, you two guys.
I'm backing out, too. I think I know what happened. First thing that happened was McGill did not give up on the play.
Well, what did you think they would?
Well, let's see who it is that strips this thing out.
Yeah, Jim, just as Jim's saying he's got breakaway speed.
That's my guy, Guerra.
Guerra comes and says, give me that football.
Not only catches up to him, but executes the punch out. And tenacious ball player in Eric Guerra.
And my teammate George Teague made that famous in 1992.
Thank you for finally.
Against the Miami Hurricanes.
Of course.
Where he walked down the receiver and punched the ball out. And ever since then, players have been doing it.
Lamar Thomas.
Lamar Thomas, exactly.
Jacorian Bennett fell on it. Again, he had 3 interceptions, but in week 1, and goes down there, gets it in the end zone for the touchback. And wow.
Coaches talk about sudden change. There were 2 there, all in one play.
Amazing.
And what, 15-second period.
Yeah, you see Miller's off to the races down all the way inside the 30. So, you know, he had ripped off almost 50 yards on the run before Guerra took the angle from the right as well.
Yep.
So, boy, this is a tough start.
Big play right there
for the Murphy Panthers. Lehman gives it off. Brian Hill is going to be stood up and driven back in the first excitement. And we'll hear out of the Murphy crowd over there is finally something to cheer about.
Well, that wasn't very nice, was it?
Here's McGill. You talk about these teams maybe don't like each other all that well. Up front for McGill, Siebert Walker, Simpson, Tristan Miller, and Donnie Brady. The offensive line. Workman McLaughlin's a big target. Let Oakley, Coleman, and Clayton, and now the Murphy defense says, all right, we got to help. We got to get this going a little bit here.
I'll tell you what.
John Patterson there. Also Kendall Adams with his 21st tackle of the young season. And the lights have just gone off here at McGill. This has happened here before. Gives a chance to tell you about the Murphy defense. Adams, Jackson, and Weaver up front. Also Wilson, Patterson, Williams, and one of the Adams brothers at linebacker in the secondary. Jalen Adams, Trayvon Ross, Maurice Agee, returning starter, and Michael Coleman. Now remember this happening once before here during a game?
Yeah, second half of a game.
And it's if I remember correctly, it's a bit of a lengthy process for the lights to warm back up.
Yeah, I think it is.
Now the McGill fans have brought out the cell phones to help to say, hey, we can make this work. Yeah. And now the Murphy crowd doing the same thing.
Not quite enough.
You know, it's not that dusk yet, but
maybe they'd finish up at Augusta, but I don't think so.
Well, I can say for certain one thing is not because they didn't pay their light bill. That field is something to behold out there.
You know, looking just to the baseball stadium to the north, where they have some parking over there, those lights are on. The scoreboard lights are on. We've got 2 lights in the press, you know, that make us look good at halftime and pre and post game. We could loan them.
Yeah, I require extra light, and it is operating.
So crazy. It happened between plays. I mean, what are the odds it doesn't happen while a play's going on?
Yeah, we wouldn't want that to happen. Safety would be a problem. And I would imagine the refs would blow it dead.
From a purely selfish standpoint, the Murphy uniform still easily to be read at this point. The numbers on there. McGill's getting a little tougher by the moment.
McGill was tough when we started out. The black on the orange. What does this do, Vic Lockett?
Well, I mean, it definitely breaks the rhythm that McGill had going here in terms of having success. And,
see if we can tear up.
The coach is probably going to have a little quick conversation with the players, get them back focused, and say, let's go.
Yeah, and you don't want to give it too long. I mean, they've got a good lather going right now. You don't want to have the kids cool down. We'll see if Tara can find out if it's what they're thinking, or if it's, you know, if they're waiting for them to power back up. If we're going to finish this game tomorrow morning.
I don't think, Jim, we're going to get you off the boat tomorrow morning. Those waves out there in the Gulf ought to be floating some fish up.
Those waves will tell you exactly why I won't be on a boat tomorrow morning.
Well, I thought your boat's so big. You got those things that come out the other side that kind of.
Yeah, there's so much you don't know about me. So misinformed you are.
Have big heaven and ease. So we've got to get this thing going and play this football game.
Sid might have had a little breaker issue here last night. And
you don't say.
You know, there is a Home Depot just not too far, not too far.
You think that will work?
Up on Montlamar, right? See, we got 2 lights here. We only got 1 turned down. We got plenty of lights here in the booth. David Sharp, our statistician for tonight.
There's
right there. Yeah, he is.
Vic and I have taken a knee.
Yeah.
I remember the play was and TV appears get it on TV. It's much darker here. You know, they can open up the whatever it is on the camera to let more light in.
The lens. At least I gave it a shot.
I knew better than to do that. So, but I kind of remember the delay here, and it was a lengthy second half, and I do remember too because you were was going to meet some family after the game, and it really delayed your trip.
Well, my son was back from deployment, and I was meeting him across the bay at a wedding for the next day, but then we were getting together for the first time there since his deployment, so I was
didn't explain why Dan did not make the wedding. Still didn't, we're going to take a time out here. The power has gone out at the Lip. It's 7-0 McGill. They've got the football. They got 3rd and 7 coming up. It's our UTV 44 game of the week. We're back right after this.
You've thought and dreamt about it. Now is the time. Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson can make it a reality. First-time rider looking to upgrade with the largest selection in
It's usually electric here at the Lip.
Yeah.
It's really not electric at the moment.
That's the problem, isn't it?
The lights have gone out here at the Lip with 7:45 to go in the opening quarter. Tara is down on the sideline, and hopefully she's got a little... hopefully she's got the needed breaker in her purse, or if not, she's got an update for us. Tara.
Hopefully I can shed some light on this situation, Jim.
Nice.
If we have enough cameras, and I know the student sections had some cell phone lights going, maybe we could get this game back going, but I doubt it. Actually, I spoke with someone from McGill, and they said this happened last night in the JV game. This is a computer-controlled light system, and they said they brought someone out from the company to fix it last night. They couldn't figure out what the problem was, but eventually the lights did come back on. There's no timeline as to when the lights are going to come on now, but they are trying to get someone down to get the lights spinning tonight, guys.
I didn't like that word that Tara used, eventually.
Yeah, that worked with Jared and his program.
Yeah, you know, it isn't. It's probably, if you follow me on Facebook at all, I may sometimes have I'm an Apple guy, and sometimes I have to use a Windows computer. It's probably a dang Windows thing that's, causing, it's got to pop up. It's probably doing an update. The thing's probably doing an update.
Isn't this when the Braves go to Beverly Hillbillies? I'm just wondering.
Or is this going to be a Heidi game?
The Heidi game.
Yes.
So and it's hard. Like, it doesn't even. Does it look like they're trying to? Like,
nope.
No. Okay, that's just me being optimistic.
Wishful thinking, Jim. Come on, easy now.
That's it. So.
Well, the fans are taking advantage of the concession stand, and that sounds like a good idea to me. You want a hot dog, Jim?
No,
the lights are on in the concession stand.
Yeah, the cash registers are still working here at McGill. They'd like us to.
I'm thinking about going and get a dog or two myself.
Oh, so I wonder how many power outages they've had in games they played since 1935.
Well, it's also a safety issue just for the fans that are here. The fact that you've got no lights, you've got people in bleachered stands and people trying to make their way out, and you're doing everything in the dark here very soon.
Sure. I had an issue at Daphne in the dang broad daylight and ruined a
perfectly good shirt.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows what'll happen here tonight. So probably pull some cars around to the end zone and turn the headlights on.
Seems to play in Foley. Back in Snakes Day.
It was the Robertsdale. Was it the Robertsdale Foley game in Week 1 that they had a lighting problem, and the lights, they couldn't get them back on at Robertsdale, and had to come back at 11 o'clock the next morning and finish that game off.
That might have been lightning related.
No, it was actually lighting. Somebody thought it was lightning, but it was a beautiful night to open the season.
Yeah.
And that's what made everybody so shocked. They were like, lightning? Wait. That's not. So it was a lighting.
Not lightning, but lighting.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
A play on words there.
That's what we have here. Oklahoma State has jumped out to a 10-0 lead over South Alabama. Not far from here.
But we're making sure our viewers stay right here because this is going to be a great high school game here, and you can catch the South game on Sports Center.
Yeah, it'll be.
Get the highlights there.
I mean, we have to buckle in. I mean, they'll be breaking daylight at 6:20, 6:25 tomorrow morning, somewhere in there. We'll finally be able to
resume play, huh?
Yeah.
Scoreboard's still lit up. They're not going to make sure the scores not get confused.
That's the only. The lights are.
That's real important, Jim. The concession stand stay. I know you're not much of an eater, but that's important.
Again, you're so wrong. You know, this is going to happen, but you would really.
Well, I mean, we've got time.
See
right
how
now.
you invite me and disinvite?
Oh, yeah, done it to me.
Cox, Stan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, and David Sharp, our statistician in the booth with us here tonight. We are waiting for the lights to come on. The good news is it looks like they are starting to power back on. Some talk that someone was playing solitaire on the computer that runs the light show and accidentally closed it out. That's not the case. We have friends.
Well, who's the father here? Maybe he said, "Let there be light." And that may be the only thing he forgot to bless prior to the game.
Got everything else in.
Here's the,
which he could go all night for me, and it still wouldn't be enough blessings. I'm good with it.
All right, here's the 7A Region 1 standings. Baker with their win over Murphy in Week 1. They're 2-0. McGill-Toolen, Theodore, and Fairhope, along with they're all 1-1. Murphy 1-0. Murphy 1-1, and then Foley, Bryant, Davidson, and Mary G. all looking for their first region win, and full schedule of region games here tonight. Let's go back down on the sidelines. Tara's got a special guest. Tara.
I sure do, Jim. I have Deja Robinson, the recruiting specialist for the UA Early College program. And for those of you who haven't heard about this fabulous program, I have Deja here to tell us what it is.
Yes, UA Early College is an opportunity for sophomores, juniors, and seniors in high school to earn college credit from the University of Alabama.
And I understand that they have to start with a required course. Can you tell us what that course is?
Yes, it's called UAEC 200, the college readiness course, and it's basically freshman study skills, so how to talk to a professor and navigate an online class.
Okay, awesome. And then you guys also have an approaching deadline that's coming. Can you tell us when the deadline is and what the deadline is for?
Yes, the next deadline we have is next Friday, September 15th, and they have to apply to be in UA Early College by that date.
Of course, we're going to have a flood of people wanting to apply for this, so how do they go about applying for that, Deja?
Yes, all they have to do is go to our website, which is uaearlycollege.ua.edu, and they can apply there.
And Deja, one last question. What is so great about the UA Early College program that kids really need to apply for this incredible program?
The best thing about UA Early College is the support system that we have for our students to make sure that they're successful in their college classes.
And then this is a trick question. Have you ever been to a high school football game where the lights went out?
This is definitely a first, and I am okay with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Deja. And I promise the next time you come around, we'll keep things lit up for you. Back up to you guys.
Deja with us. She was with us last year.
Yes, she was.
Remember that? So thanks for being a part of the broadcast here tonight. We got all kinds of people. Lights are really, I wouldn't think it'd be very long now. Lights are really coming out with all kinds of people. We got Chris Miller over in Niceville, Florida, watching the game, sending me some breaker suggestions. It really, like, if they're down to me down there, you know, trying to get the breaker going, we might as well go home now.
Well, I mean, the two of us
yeah.
together.
And I don't think Lockett's super, you know, Mr. Handyman over there either.
Nah.
Also, Bennett Long of Long and Long. We've got to have a Long and Long first down here, and he's watching the game tonight. Lots of folks checking in, watching the UTV 44 game of the week. So if you're just joining us, Murphy got the ball first, went 3 and out, had a penalty, and then botched the snap on a punt, and Murphy turned it over. McGill got it at the 8. They went in. Touchdown pass from Sheldon Lehman to Brian Hill. Put McGill-Toolen on top by a score of 7-0, and then Murphy was off on a long drive as
long
run. Anthony Miller had taken it 50-something yards, and Eric Gary caught him from behind, knocked it loose, and that's where McGill's got it now with a 3rd down coming up. At the end of tonight's game, you'll be able to vote on one of our 3 players of the game. Whoever got the lights back going, he's in the early running for getting a nomination.
Unless it's the same guy that knocked him out.
There is that. That's how you finish, right? At the end of tonight's game, Alabama Orthopedic Clinic, you can will bring you our player of the game nominees. At halftime, we will hear and see from our player of the game last week, Connor Hagan from Spanish Fort. You can go to local15tv.com. Get a lot of people asking if he's going to be out of town, or as the season gets a little later up at the hunting camp or whatever. You can watch the games online. Yes, you can stream them on. We do stream the games online, so you can see them as well.
Speaking of watching, last couple of weeks I have failed to mention our young lady, Miss Millie Fritz, who celebrated her 83rd birthday last Sunday. Always watching the game. Our kids tell me that she doesn't even answer the phone when the game's on because she wants to watch the game.
Well, happy belated birthday,
yes.
Miss Millie.
Yeah, she knows. You know her through church, right?
Yes, yep. Yes. So she is. She was there this past Sunday. We sang happy birthday, and it is a good thing. 83 years young. Doesn't know what a touchdown is, but loves the broadcast.
I think she, you know what? I bet she didn't watch until Lockett came on board. You think that was it?
How about that now?
I think that's...
She specifically told me to tell Jim and Dan I love them too.
Okay. All right. We'll Vic, next Sunday, get that in writing. I would love to meet Miss Millie. I'm not completely buying that.
I promise you, yes. She loves the broadcast.
Thank you,
really
Miss Millie. We love that you watch.
Now, if we can get her a football game, she'll be more excited.
She could have answered the phone the last 20 minutes or so. She could have taken a call.
Yeah, I'm serious. Her kids are worried about it and what's going on, and she'll finally answer the phone after 10 and say, "You know, I was watching the game."
You know, I got a mother in Illinois, Mr. Lockett, that the family members don't even think about calling. Like during Bears game. Like, don't even
zoomed in.
Yeah, just do not call, because it's not going to be pleasant if she does answer the phone and you've interrupted.
And this is Bears games that she's watching.
Yes.
So has she been suffering from depression?
It's been a long. Yeah,
100 years.
Yeah, it's not going to be a super fast season this year either. Sundays. So not quite up to 100% yet, but it does look like we'll be close enough to get this one back started.
The referees give them credit knowing right where the football is supposed to be. McGill offense takes the field, so.
Yeah, and they're loosening their legs up as well. They got kind of tight there.
Yep.
Should take another Advil.
Should be third down. Scoreboard's got second. It's third down. 3rd and 7 coming up here.
I'm probably going to do some stretching here during the next break.
Coach Barnes is going to expect you to.
Yes, he is.
To be.
Do you need me to pull your tongue and kind of stretch those muscles in there?
Let's work that out off the air. All right, back to football, looks like.
Yeah. 10 more seconds on the clock here. We'll be ready to.
Jim only gets off the boat to do this sort of thing once a week, and we have got to have a football game.
Lockett, so misinformed. So misinformed. So
They've got a great crowd here tonight, by the way.
Yeah, really do.
Look at that. End zone stands filled up as well.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Yellow Jackets. The junior Sheldon Lehman, quarterback, and we'll get this one back underway at the lip. Lehman rolls out, looks, fires, and he short hopped that one. He's trying to get it to Oakley Coleman.
Had it open too.
Yeah, that's a big stop by the Murphy defense there.
It is. They got pressure.
I would credit that one to the little break there. Him coming out being rusty. He probably was keeping his arm warm, but it's still not like live action.
And also, there's a little pressure that comes in his face right there, and I think that played a role in it too. And
give Murphy credit.
Yeah. Throwing against your body and pressure coming square up to you.
And I think he did a nice job of going through his progressions and finding the open guy, just underthrew just a bit.
Darnell Thomas back to receive a high punt. He lets it bounce and keeps taking the McGill bounce, but Murphy's going to have pretty good field position up at the 33.
Had a much better field position if he was up further, because again, that was a punt into the wind, and those kids were trying to field those punts in pregame, so you think he would have been aware of that. Maybe they would have set him up a little closer to midfield to be able to get that in the air.
Yeah, Straub got a high one there, and you can see the Murphy special teams coach there saying, hey, you just got to field that punt. Can't let it keep bouncing when you got nobody in front of you. So yet to have a first down in this game.
But we do have a touchdown.
Touchdown, a turnover, a botched punt, a power outage. Other than that, first 4 minutes and 44 seconds.
The orange uniform, a pumpkin, and a pear tree.
Pretty uneventful here at the lip. Maurice Robinson gives it off on the left side. Lamar Harris just across the 35. Harris, a senior. He's a bit of a different back. 5'7", 200 pounds. A little more of a bruising type.
Hey, it was fun having Maurice Robinson on the pregame show.
Yeah, he was fun.
He was good.
He played some Brent in, Brent out.
I imagine a kid like him has a lot of confidence the way he plays.
Nice kid.
2nd and 7. Harris wrapped up. Nick Ruggs, the junior linebacker, got penetration there and wrapped him up and stopped him in 3rd. About 6 coming up here for the Panthers.
This McGill defense has played really big here in the first 2 weeks, and they've had to, because the offense hasn't really done nearly what they've done the last several years. A great deal of attrition off these teams that won a state championship 2 years ago and competed in the championship game last year.
There's Caleb Ross left McGill here to go up to Opelika. Michael Jefferson split out to the bottom of the screen.
Big target.
Looking now, they instead come off to Anton Noble, and Noble see where the spot is.
They're going to say it's incomplete because I thought he turned around and caught it. Well, and then he dropped it.
So Noble.
Yeah, they're going to say he never had control of that.
But you also see the McGill defender there going right in Eric Gare to punch the football, knock it loose.
That's his specialty, looks like, Dan.
His specialty is just playing football.
Football.
You know.
Whatever is the most advanced thing
at that moment.
Yes.
Coach
advantageous. That's where I was trying to get it out.
He loves that guy. He loves having number 5 on his team.
Played a bunch last year as a junior, and another 3 and out here for Murphy. And Gare stands at the 35. McGill coming with the pressure, and Darnell Thomas, good kick too, and Gare takes it back at the 27-yard line.
Well, that was a good snap to him, right to his hands, right in his face mask.
And a good punt, too.
All he had to do was catch it and punt it, and as you can see, if he gets a good snap, he'll get a good punt.
This is McGill-Toolen's first home game of the year. Ernest Hill making his head coaching debut here at the Lip as far as home games go. He won, as we said, last week against Alma Bryant. Beat Spanish Fort to open the season, and a good tussle, as Vic Lockett's mama would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over there on the hill.
Someone take a timeout?
Going to use a heat timeout here. 5:35 to go.
I thought we'd count it under the lights, huh?
Yeah, I thought the 28-minute delay would have been that.
I think the suits kind of stepped in there.
All right, we'll take a timeout. 7-0 McGill. It's the UTV 44 Game of the Week. We're still in the first quarter here at the Lip. 5.5 to go. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline. Jared Quijas in the truck after a lighting delay here. We're back at it. And Hill turning the corner to the near side. Nice cut back up to the inside. He's going to have a long first down for the Yellow Jackets up to the 46-yard line.
His dad's all about defense, but the kid is all about positive yards on offense, and he's shifty.
Started with that jump cut, then when he got outside, he used his speed, and then he makes one more cut back inside to pick up about 8 more yards.
Picks up 19 on first down.
All in one play.
He is really an efficient runner.
243 yards coming in tonight in the first 2 weeks, and this time he's going to be bottled up and dropped back at the 42-yard line. Jawan Adams, his 5th tackle for a loss on the young season for the Murphy Panthers.
And if they can get good leverage like that and keep him contained, get him going east and west rather than north and south, that's how you stop a back like that for a loss.
Yeah, they got good penetration again, Adams, and also linebacker John Patterson on the McGill side of the football.
2nd and 13 for the Jackets. They'll pitch it to Hill. Has to come to the near side and has to turn it back to the inside. Again, nowhere to go. Maurice Agee, the safety, comes up. Did a good job to read that one, and boy, Hill had nowhere to go, and the safety Agee there able to pull him down for no gain.
Again, have him going east and west. That's not what he wants to do. He wants to go east or west just for a step or two, and then he wants to turn it up, try to make you miss.
3rd and 13. Lehman out of the backfield, able to get this one off to Hill. And Hill gets just past the original line of scrimmage before Santese Williams, the linebacker, their 3rd leading tackler coming in tonight, makes the stop there.
And that's a good play. That linebacker isolated on that back out there in open field. Good tackle, good job by that young man.
But Hill might cut it back to the middle of the field
and lose it.
Is that what you saw?
I thought he would too, but Santese played him inside out, took that away from him.
Jacob Straub out to punt for the Yellow Jackets. Darnell Thomas stands just inside his own 20. Straub with another good punt, and Thomas with that one drifting to the far side. It does a good job to hold on to that one, just what Dan talked about. With kind of gusting and swirling wind a little bit here.
Those punts are really wiggling up there and tough, especially now in nightfall, to handle. They were having trouble in the sunlight.
Our UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44 is brought to you by University of Alabama Early College. You heard all about that just a moment ago. Tara down on the sidelines. And glad to have University of Alabama back with us.
Roll Tide.
To present our games again this season here on UTV 44.
Number 1 in football and want to be number 1 in academics.
Give on the inside, and Breland Manley back in there, the sophomore. Will pick up a couple on first down here for Murphy.
You know what? One thing I like about Murphy, what they're doing now, whether they're going to have a lot of success with it or not, but they are definitely trying to establish that run and not just all the quick stuff or put it all on Robinson's arm at all.
Yeah, sure.
They're trying to make something happen against this McGill defense up front, and they realize if they can get that run game churning a little bit, that's good news for the entire offense and also keeps that defense off the field.
Handed on the left side, and Manley up to the 35 and up into the football. The football came loose and rolled out of bounds at the far side.
I think it did. And they've got success with the run. You know, Manley broke that one open early.
Yeah, Miller did, right?
Yeah, I thought it was Manley.
Yeah, it was Miller who came in. Let's see if that ball. Yeah, sure did. Helmet right on the football. That was Jacorian Bennett. And the Yellow Jackets just could not get on it. Nick Ruggs diving for the ball, but that's good enough for a long first down. Is Murphy with their first down of the evening here.
To finish that thought, you know, they've got some confidence in the run already, seeing that they could break it open.
True.
And they were in the same defense you're looking at now.
Robinson pitches it again, and Manley's got a little seam on the left side, and he's across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Massey with a nice tackle there, huh?
Yeah, the heck of a collision on the sideline because Manley, he doesn't dance around you, man. He's going to bring it right at you.
It looked like he was about to pick up the first down until Tyson Manley stepped in there and said, no, sir.
Don't see a lot of sophomores starting at tailback in 7A football. And Manley, especially a lot of 5'7" sophomores.
Yeah.
Change it up now. Robinson will keep this one to the right side, and second down, he's going to fall forward, and Bryson Massey brings him down. But
nice play again. 2 plays in a row by Massey there.
Murphy stringing consecutive first downs together. That's another long first down. Long attorneys at law here in Mobile. They're local. They live here. They've grown up here. Kids go to school with your kids, and proud to be a part of high school football tonight on UTV 44. Christian Sellers will split out to the top of the screen here for Murphy, right at the midfield stripe. Manley on the left side again cuts it back in, and he's going to be close to another first down. Might be just a half a yard short. They like something on the left side there, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, I mean, they trap it there, it looks like, and then he just cuts it under out there. What did I say, in that 8-hole? Yeah, once that defensive end loses that containment there, he just steps outside and makes the play there. Yeah, so it was not a trap.
That time of Jonathan Rogers, 11, just got a little nosy on the inside, and it cost him.
Another long.
Where did you see defenses not do their job here from McGill?
Another long first down for the Panthers, and quickly out to the far side. And first catch tonight for Christian Sellers, his first catch of the season, as a matter of fact. Junior wide receiver for the Panthers. Some good momentum going, and they're feeling pretty good on that Murphy sideline about the way this drive is going. But I think this is usually what you see against these McGill defenses. They bend, but rare you see the big play go against them.
Got a lot of new names on this team, though, just looking over this defense.
2nd and 7 with a minute to go, and over the middle quickly, and able to hold on to that one was A.J. Lewis.
Nice job by that young man, huh?
Great catch on a rocket of a pass.
I'll tell you what I like. Not only did he make the catch, I do believe, then he's able to show it. Watch right here.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's close.
Yeah, he wants to confirm I got it.
Yeah, they gave him the catch, and I'm not sure if there was a challenge that would go, but that's going to be good for another long first down on this drive for the Murphy Panthers. They're down to the 28. E.J. Lewis, he's got lots of interest. Mississippi State, Kent, South, UAB, lots of folks interested in the 6'2" wide receiver with a big size, and Manley to the right side gets stood up at the 23-yard line, but he's going to pick up 5.
Manley, I see you showing me a couple of cuts you got in there. You usually straight ahead, but you made a couple of cuts there to get some positive yards.
Sophomore Wells Keaton met him there. Those two will be matching up on Friday nights for this year, and 2 more after tonight. Sophomore on sophomore there with the tackle. 7-yard pickup for Breland Manley. Put A.J. Lewis in his 6'4" frame in the slot to the top of the screen. And I think McGill defense wants a, nope, it'll be the end of the quarter. We will make it through 1. McGill leads by a score of 7-0, but Murphy driving this one deep. They're down to the 22 of the Jackets with 2nd and short coming up when we start quarter number 2 here at the Lift. To start the 2nd quarter here, McGill and Murphy, oldest rivalry in Mobile and the state of Alabama as well. 7-0, McGill with the lead. Student body section singing along to Sweet Caroline during the break here at McGill. Vic Lockett chiming in as well.
I don't know about that
now. 2nd and 3 for the Panthers, deepest they have been into Yellow Jacket territory. Manley right up the middle, and the sophomores got it 1st and goal for the Murphy Panthers. And
when you can do that, you got a defense with a problem.
Sure.
And that's why I was saying I like the fact that Murphy is trying to establish the run and not shying away from that or conceding anything to McGill. They're going to punch him in the nose and see what happens. And right now, they're getting some gashes up front.
Yeah, they've got some problems there in that B gap over there.
A long 1st and goal here for the Panthers from the 5. Anton Noble goes in motion. They give it right off to Manley at that time, and no gain on 1st down.
Manley's been pretty manly.
He has, and you know, Jim was talking about not too often you see a sophomore back there in this level playing football. He's proven why.
Yeah, just 5'7", but runs straight ahead, but is shifty as well. Sawyer Brady came in, junior linebacker there for McGill to make the stop.
Not afraid of contact, that's for sure.
He had 53 yards coming into tonight, 57. Already only had 10 carries in the first 2 weeks, and he's been toting the mail tonight here for the Panthers. 2nd and goal from the 5. Robinson looks. Now he wants to scramble to the outside. Looks and then fires to the back of the end zone, and Christian Sellers couldn't hold on to it. Boy, McGill had some great contain on the outside where Robinson couldn't pull it down, and then he wanted to go to the back of the end zone, and actually Sellers had a chance.
Well, he had 2 targets back there. Actually,
yeah, 3 actually.
Jefferson, who's 6'4", somehow he throws it over Jefferson to the shorter Sellers. Watch this.
Yep.
Wow.
Close, but now 3rd and goal from the 5 here for the Murphy Panthers. Jefferson, receiver, up top along with Sellers. Go strong to the near side of your screen. And now movement on the right side as well.
Costly penalty there.
Yeah, I think it might have been D'Anthony Page, and I thought he got away with one little hitch, and then the second time.
I thought I saw one earlier as well.
Yeah, not so
much. They didn't call it, so I thought my eyes were deceiving me.
False start on the offensive team. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
We used to have a coach that would say, "Don't trust your lying eyes." But coach, you see, don't trust your lying eyes.
Coaches,
lock it.
They've got a lot of short sayings so they can make a point in a quick space of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
3rd and goal. 4 receivers here for the Panthers, looking for the fade to the corner, some contact and going up and able to hold on to it, pull it down for the touchdown, even with the contact. Is Michael Jefferson used his 6'4" frame to go up there and get it. Wow, that was, Maurice Robinson, he wasn't looking at anybody else. He was going to the corner there.
Yeah, they had that 3-by-1 set, so he's isolated over there one-on-one with the defensive back, and Michael Jefferson climbs the ladder and plays above the rim and comes down with it, and that's the guy Coach McDowell's really excited about.
Yeah,
5'9", Eric Garrett, 5'9", and only so much you can do on, on an island out there.
Tough, tenacious kid, but you're giving up 6-7 inches.
Carter Cochran on for the PAT. He's perfect on the year, left-footed kicker. And he ties the game at 7. What a drive there.
Well, I was
Murphy Panthers.
I was definitely going to take notice of this kid, because if you got a Mississippi State Hall of Fame receiver in Coach McDowell, giving his praises, who played for the Minnesota Vikings back in the day.
Hall of Fame good guy, too,
yes.
Artie McDowell.
Yeah, all of that. And so I was waiting to see this kid. And he always talks about your guy, Coach McDowell does. He talks about coming across the middle, trying to block your guy, Mike Singletary. He would tell me his head is as big as this press box.
Marty can tell a story.
He can do it.
So look at this here, Maurice Robinson got it going over there with a great one-handed ruled catch from A.J. Lewis. And then Manley, got it down to the 5. And that penalty was you thought was going to be costly on 3rd down. Instead, they go up with a one-on-one.
I almost lost track of the ball on the replay.
Yeah, and so I don't think that Garrett did anything wrong on that play.
Sometimes the receiver's going to win.
Yep.
Now short kick here, and this is going to bounce, and McGill able to pick it up, and Garrett calls out to about the 33. Hey, we got one of our emailers in, Hoot Gibson. Likes to email in. Hoot from class of 74 at McGill, and wants to know how many winning seasons McGill has had. There's a scoring drive, 10 plays, 72 yards, almost 6 minutes in time. McGill's been playing football for 98 years here. They've had 52 winning seasons.
Don't we have our own trivia questions?
I'm going to just start emailing Hoot in the morning.
Yeah.
But Hoot also wants to know how many consecutive winning seasons McGill has had during that time, and I don't have that, Hoot. Lehman rolls this one out to the far side and stepping out of bounds just after the catch.
Yeah. Nice play there. I didn't like how he made contact with the ground there.
That was Clayton Jennings. Going back, who was asking about consecutive winning seasons, but don't forget McGill had a 22-game winning streak snapped when they lost in the championship game last year, but they still won 24 of their last 25 coming into tonight's game. If you want to email us, if you know how many consecutive winning seasons is the longest McGill has had, you can email us at heyguys@utb44.com, as that one's incomplete. Zach Workman is looking for his second catch of the year. 6'1" wide out, a junior for McGill-Toolen. You know, McGill, since 2011, 66-13. 40-6 in region play, and you say 66-13, and think about 6 of those losses came in 2014, Caleb Ross's first year, when they went 4-6.
Wow.
When he came here. So this McGill team is
there's your answer to the question, too.
Yeah, they've become a powerhouse. Pressure coming from Adams. Lehman rolls out and just flicks it ahead to Guerra. Wow. Had some green in front of him, but his feet went out from underneath him, 2 yards short of the first down. He's elusive.
Got a flag back there. Something wasn't quite right. Could it be a lineman downfield? Because I thought it was a screen. How much pressure they had.
I think it's going to be a hold there. There's been a handful of jersey.
Okay.
I also think there was a lineman downfield. I don't know if they caught it or not.
Donnie Brady might have been guilty with a big twist of a Murphy. I like the new Murphy uniforms. Good.
All set for Halloween.
You're talking about McGill. He was talking about he likes Murphy.
Oh, okay. I thought he said McGill. I'm sorry.
It was ineligible downfield. Don't trust your lion ears, Big Lock.
I think they have 78 Trey Simpson, the center, after he snapped it.
During the play, an eligible receiver downfield on the offensive team. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
Well, the play got a little jammed up, and so they weren't able to get the pass off in time. Simpson gets caught too far downfield.
Yeah, a little anxious to go down and make a block for his teammate.
And, of course, because the ball wasn't passed when they thought it was going to be passed, he's downfield before it needs to be.
3rd and 13 here for the Yellow Jackets. Lehman drops back, pressure coming, now steps up in the pocket, sets his feet, and fires it to the far side, and it's tipped.
I tell you what, I like Lehman's poise there to climb the pocket under that duress there and still keeping his eyes downfield. Yeah, pretty much made a delivery I thought was catchable, Dan.
Yeah, and it was going to be short of the first
way
down
short,
anyway.
yeah. Jalen Adams was the one who came over there, and I'm not sure if he tipped it or just put the big hit on.
Well, you had Bubba last year, who was all-state quarterback. But Coach Hill, he made it clear to me, Lehman's not been a problem at all. They've had trouble with their receivers getting separation and making the plays that group was able to do last year.
Straub with a low snap and then a short kick that goes up high. And it's down, and wow, Murphy is going to have great field position on the plus side of the 50. And let's go down to Tara and get another Coastal Alabama Community College Educator Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm with Danielle Booth, the Dean of Students at Murphy High School. And Danielle, what makes UA Early College so unique at Murphy High School?
Early college students take online classes, but students through the Murphy University Center have a unique opportunity. They take classes that are blended, which consist of online instruction as well as face-to-face instruction from the professors in Tuscaloosa themselves.
Oh, wow. So what has sort of the feedback been from parents why they like UA Early College at Murphy High School?
Saving of money, that's the biggest thing. And as a parent of an early college student at Murphy, we have estimated that we'll save over $20,000 between early college classes, AP classes, and dual enrollment classes, between $20,000 and $25,000.
Wow, thank you so much, Danielle, and back up to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Tara, and thanks to Coastal Alabama Community College. Anthony Miller got one on that one for the pass and got tripped up right away. Miller, we saw, he's got some good pull-away speed. Eric Guerra, we saw good closing speed on that big play in the first quarter there. And 2nd and 9 here for the Murphy Panthers.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice delivery by Maurice Robinson to get it out there, real catchable ball, and let him turn up with it.
Jefferson up to the top of the screen. They give it right off to the near side, and Miller takes a big hit from Ruggs, but gets it up near the 40. It's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Ruggs very rare that we see somebody get the edge on this McGill defense like that.
Thinking the same thing. I've seen it a few times tonight.
Yeah.
Good blocking by Murphy.
Ruggs, good-looking linebacker, 6 foot, 215 pounds, a junior. They got 2 juniors, a sophomore and a senior in there.
Murphy's got a really good quarterback. They've been running it well, and they've got some speed on the outside.
3rd and a long one, and Miller to the outside and cuts it to the inside, and he's got a first down to the 31-yard line.
Now Murphy's offense has got some cooking here, huh, Dan?
They do. They've got some players, and they got some players playing with a lot of passion.
Anthony Miller gives the Panthers a long first down here as he's got it to the 31-yard line, and Miller, we saw, it's look good. They got a nice little trio of running backs back there.
Yeah, if this offensive line blocks, they've got a chance to score a lot of points. Not necessarily tonight, but I'm just...
Coach Barnes was saying, you know, we're young. Our offensive line is young. We've got good skill guys who have some experience. We're young up front. And so he said, you know, we'll grow into that, and we're doing a good job here thus far tonight. Robinson, pressure from the backside from Ladarius Cox, and looking to pull it down, and now floats that one incomplete over Anton Noble.
Yeah, well, what I'm seeing out of Murphy, I'm going to credit Coach Barnes, because in years past, I just hadn't seen it look like this, that team. You know, tonight, they look like somebody that's going after something.
Yep, I agree with you. They look good tonight. And, again, they've got some weapons, too.
Yeah, and they've always been beautiful getting off the bus, but once they hit the field, you know, it just turns into Jill, and, you know, we just hadn't seen it like this. But I'm going to credit Coach Barnes for seems to be getting it going and getting the juice going over there and making these kids understand, hey, you compete.
Coach Barnes, the 21st head coach in Murphy High School history. And Robinson on 2nd and 10. Rolls out. Short arms this one, but he's able to get it complete. Kind of almost like a shot put type pass to the near side, but he's able to get it off to Sellers for the catch.
Yeah, I think his indecision in his head kind of was playing his games with him.
Hey, Tara's got a quick light update for us. Tara.
I sure According to Coach Griffin, McGill's athletic director, he said there's an electrician standing by watching the lights. It was a breaker that flipped earlier because it's corroded. So he's trying to make sure the lights make it until halftime. He's got a fan pulling it off. If it doesn't, we may have to reschedule this game for tomorrow. Otherwise, he's going to try and replace it during halftime. Fingers crossed, guys.
Wow. That's breaking news, Tara.
That's breaker news.
Yeah.
Robinson
It's both.
pulls it down, and he's going to get stopped. Boy, that was just a wonky-looking play there. Like, that was just not developing very well. And
Sounds like the same thing going on at the breaker. Nothing's working.
Well, at first, when he started talking, I thought that's what he was referring to, and then he took it to the field.
So we'll get a heat timeout here. No, actually, Murphy takes a timeout with 4th and 5 coming up from the 28. So they're going to corroded breaker. They're going to pull it out.
So we're going to go dark again, sounds like.
Spray some WD-40 on there. Get the corrosion off. Maybe some steel wool. These boaters know about corrosion, Vic. Put a new one in there.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll work. Electrician standing by.
Well, if it's my friend, I know he is on top of it, and
well, you know,
he does a good job.
Probably not going to have a band.
His name right this
probably not going to have a band to see. I say we.
That's disappointing.
I say we go down there and watch the breaker installation.
Get a camera in there, huh?
No pressure there. All right, more of our friends bringing us high school football on the UA College early college game here of the week on UTV 44. The Sheriff's Office of Mobile and Baldwin County and the Drug Education Council.
Both sheriffs in both counties doing a great job assisting the folks that are evacuating Florida. If you've been on the roads, I-10, east or west, you have seen a massive amount of law enforcement, and hats off to our guys in our state for being good neighbors.
Trying to keep the traffic moving as best you can, but just, coming over from Baldwin County today, I mean, it's just like Dan said, it's a numbers game. You just have so many people trying to.
And prayers to our neighbors over there in Florida. My God.
So here we go. The Panthers will go for it on 4th and 5 from the 28. Robinson looking to his right now, wants to go back to the left again, looking for the big, tall target. Because he wanted Jefferson again, and that one incomplete, and McGill's defense will hold.
I think that was Guerra again.
Yeah, and he had his choice there. He had a wide open guy. He took his eye off, but the play, I guess, was to go over there to the isolation again and let the big man do the jump ball thing, but unsuccessful.
Jefferson had a chance to get that one down as well, but he doesn't, and so Murphy turns it over on downs. We'll take a timeout halfway through the second. It's 7-7, Murphy and McGill. The battle for the cannon right here on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline. She's actually right at midfield. Like, she couldn't be more at midfield right now.
Yes,
right
doing
now.
A good job.
See our big McGill crowd right in front of us. Love the great accommodations here at the Lip.
Oh, yeah.
And love this great game. 7-7, Murphy and McGill. Murphy, it's an opportunity to slip away there as they turn it over deep in McGill territory. And here's Brian Hill looking to get to the outside. And Adams does a good job to shed his block and come over and make the tackle there.
Absolutely. Kept good leverage there, kept his outside arm free, and just makes the back keep going east and west till he runs out of real estate. You know he's got the boundary as an extra defender, tackling when he tries to turn it up.
Juwan Adams.
Barnes has got this group playing.
I agree. Linebacker, yep. Pick up a 4 for Hill. Heyman looks to the sideline. Workman, receiver to the bottom of the screen. Keep your eye on Turner McLaughlin. He's at the slot, the top of the screen. He's a big, tall receiver. Lehman wants to air it out to the near side as he looks for Workman, and it's just overthrown. Good coverage, running stride for stride. Michael Coleman back there, but Lehman with a nice ball on that one, just a yard and a half too long.
Yeah, it was good coverage, good effort by the receiver as well. Just a little bit out of reach there.
3rd and 6. Coming up for the McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets, 2-0 on the year. State champions in 2015, lost in the championship game last year. Our whistle. Back-to-back region champions as well.
They know their way around a big game.
They've been in a couple, haven't they, Dan?
they've been in a bunch here in the last few years, and that was a surprising answer about the, well, you did the math actually. They had a losing record just 2 years ago, three seasons
2014,
ago.
yeah. Caleb Ross' first year
Under 500.
After Bart Sessions left, and they kind of didn't have quarterback injuries, really young kids playing a lot.
From that to a state champ.
Back-to-back appearances, 2 following years. Win it 1 year and then not lose the next. And Murphy's defense swarming all over Hill there. And 3 and out now coming up for the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, what a job. Was that 17 or 13?
I think it was Jalen Adams.
Good job coming up there from that corner.
Yeah,
forcing things back inside.
Jalen and Juwan Adams, the brothers, doing a good job on this series.
Just so fundamentally sound, man. You hadn't seen Murphy like this, since I've been with
Well,
you.
this is as good as I've seen them in a game like this, and they're not hurting themselves.
No, exactly.
High kick. Thomas at the 30 takes it, makes one move. Now he's trying to get to the outside. Got a nice block. Still all the way up to the 40. Wants to strong arm his way through, but he gets up to the 41. Good field position here.
Nice job by 52 there. Deese Rice.
Yeah, starting linebacker for
not allowing that stiff arm.
All right, so talk a little, kind of continuing on our theme here. So Murphy and McGill have been playing football forever, as we know. So name the coaches with the most wins for each school.
Got to go to the guy right here, hometown football legend, Victor Lockett. All of his days right here.
Yeah, well, I would say one of them's probably Big Man.
Well, hey, we'll just wait. I'll promise you, he won't be an answer to a trivia question that I come up with. Big Lockett is up to the right side as Robinson, so that'll help you a little on your guess. So, so fourth quarter, we'll have the answer. Think about that. So a lot of coaches have come through.
The one for McGill, first name I would say is Glenn.
It's fourth quarter. And you would be not correct.
Ah, okay.
So
not heading in the right direction on that.
These guys have been playing football a long time.
Yeah.
There's no telling.
One of the names very, very recognizable. One, you'd have to be a bit of a McGill historian. Robinson fires it. He's able to get that one complete. Robinson up to the 47-yard line, able to complete that one off to Michael Jefferson. That's going to be another long and long first down.
Long and long starting to get their money's worth now.
Yeah. Bennett Long was asking me about, hey, what's that Spanish Fort McGill game? There were 3 first downs in the first half.
Did he want a refund?
It's just, well, you know Bennett.
I do not.
Robinson will keep this one. Robinson falls inside the 45.
Wow, he thought he had some, but
AJ
Jonathan Rogers say, hey, I'm going to shut this door because he's been losing containment all night, and I bet those coaches got in his ear and say, hey, you better not lose containment anymore. And he said, I lost it, but I'm going to get it back.
Yeah, good play. He got some help from behind him.
Sure, which allowed him, to be able to get back there.
3-yard pickup. We haven't really seen Robinson pull it down and really take off. 15 rushes, 181 yards coming into tonight's game. 3 touchdowns.
And I asked Coach Barnes, did he have some RPOs in here for him? He says he does. Rarely, but he does.
Run pass option. Big Lockett with the coach speak there. Complete up to A.J. Lewis. And it's going to be another long and long first down.
These RPOs now becoming in vogue, so you got to keep up with it and see what their thinking is and what's going on. And now it's trickling down to the high school level. But if it were me coaching, I wouldn't have my 18-year-old making the deal for me. You run what I call, brother.
Old school.
Yeah, run what I call, brother.
First and 10 for the Panthers.
Vic, if you were actually coaching a team, I'm afraid a quote like that would lead the fans on your side of the field to say, the game has passed you by.
Yeah. Come over here in the stands with me, big boy. Have some popcorn.
Put on a headset. Pickup of 1. Hey, Mark Wright watching the game over in Daphne tonight. Appreciate Mark checking in with us.
Had a great time at that Daphne Spanish Fort game last week. That was an epic defensive battle.
Really fun game. Huge win for
I got coaches at home telling me that McGill looks tired. Chris Brooks texting me and saying he thinks they're tired.
Wow.
They've been out there for a little bit, so got time, to get your legs back under. You're going to get a little tired, but, that's what you run all those sprints for in the summer. You go through times like this, and Jim said it earlier, this defense tends to bend but do not break. Take that, Chris Brooks. Coach Chris Brooks from his couch.
Murphy. Offense, 5-yard penalty, remains, second down.
Murphy had 7 go on 1, and 4 were waiting for 2 on that one. Because a whole host of young men who will be doing a little extra running for jumping too soon on that one. There's Coach Ernest Hill led Greenville to an 11-1 record back in 2011. Jim Bibby checking in, watching the game here tonight as well down in Orange Beach. Thanks, Jim Bibby. Now they pitch it right back to Robinson. Wants to go up over the top, looking for Jefferson, and he just can't haul it down. Oh, Robinson with a good throw under pressure.
Yeah, running that post route, and he kind of was just heading to the post, but the ball was heading a little bit more outside.
I think Robinson, if you see it again, gets rid of it probably a little quicker than
he wanted to. Yeah.
Right.
Quickly pitched it right back. Lamar Harris got it to him.
Yeah, he gets a blitz in his face.
And if it had been in this area here.
Right. If he throws it closer to the post, you might have 6 right there.
Exactly. That's why they call that
the post route.
The post. Lockett has taught me so much over the years.
I don't know about that, Jim. Still hadn't seen number 1 set of fish from you.
That's not true. I gave you some big wahoo 2 years ago. 3rd and 14 for the Panthers. Robinson looking left, now wants to scramble. Going to pull it down, looking for a block downfield, and it's going to get up to about the 32-yard line. Still be well short and kind of in that
no man's land.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
they were here and went for it earlier.
They're at the 31 and went for it on 4th and 5, and now they're going to be at the 32 and have
about the same
4th and a long 5, and speaking of Barnes, it'll be a 49-yard field goal attempt. Actually, it's going to be back. Yeah, it'll be got to go for it here.
I'm betting they're going to let number 2 do something.
Lamar Harris in the backfield. Jefferson up to the top of the screen. It's his go-to guy. Instead, he's looking the other way.
Good protection.
Now he just wings this one out, and Jefferson can't haul it in. Flat-footed.
That was kind of weird looking.
Yeah, I think it was his 3rd option. I mean, he was looking to the near side the whole time.
Did he lose it in the lights? He was looking horizontal.
Are you going to blame the lights now? Now that we got him working? Yeah. You can't be satisfied.
Like he was looking over the middle, looking to his left, and then just kind of heaved it because
Yeah, and it was almost there. I mean, it was inbound.
And he went it with 1 hand and not 2.
Odell Beckham.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jim, and that's a bad habit that's going around, right?
Yep. That's 2 4th downs that McGill has stopped Murphy on. Inside the yellow jacket, 35-yard line. Zach Workman with the quick catch, and he's forced out of bounds. And Michael Coleman, cornerback for Murphy, comes over to make the quick hit there.
This is a McGill team that had 4 wideouts that scared everybody to death last year. And this is a younger group and a quarterback, too. And this is a younger group, and they just don't have that sort of cohesion or confidence or maybe talent. Time will tell.
Hill drags it across the 40. We're inside a minute to go, and you can see, and now McGill's going to take a timeout with 3rd down coming up. You can see the Murphy defenders in there trying to rip that ball out. Williams was trying to get that one. Ernest Hill, Coach Caleb Ross was talking about when he brought him over here as defensive coordinator, and of course McGill's defense wasn't great in 2014. Then the next 2 years they were really great under him, and he said the biggest thing is, he said, it's not so much schematically what Ernest Hill has done for this team. He said these kids just love to play for him. These defensive kids love to play for that man, and that's what Caleb said was the biggest difference is they played for him.
Yeah, and I got a chance to spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half in his office the other day, and you can see why. He's really low key. Now, maybe a little more jacked up on the practice field, but I think he's more of a low key guy. But they listen to him, they pay attention. He's got some good coaches with him too, including Alex Page, who was a great player at South Alabama. By the way, one of our sponsors include Thyre Cadell Law Offices, personal injury, car accidents, and slip and fall accidents, Social Security issues, workers' comp, including shipyard injuries. They can handle them all. The Irie Cadell law offices happy to be a part of high school football.
We've got a few shipyards around here, so that'll keep them busy.
So actually they measure, and they do have enough for the first down there. So long first down here for McGill-Toolen, and up to the 50 goes Gare, and then the side judge with a 20-yard toss of the penalty flag there.
Man, Santez Williams made that play. He didn't make the tackle, but he sure turned that thing outside where some of his compadres were to make the tackle.
Watch again what Vic is talking about.
Yeah, he's going to flash right here and make the defender cut. Offender cut, offensive player cut.
Yeah, I think they're going to be offensive holding there on the receiver. That's what it was. Had 2 hands full of jerseys of Jersey.
Hold on. They're in the play. Holding on the offensive team. 10 yards from the end of the run. Replay, first down.
My instructions to the Zebras pregame is always call penalties on both offenses, never on the D.
That was Workman, and now they come to the screen now. Another flag in the backfield. They get it off to Hill, and Hill up to the 47-yard line. You know, get your hands up in the jersey. In the middle of the line, you can get away with that a little easier.
Yep.
On the outside, you're going to get it every time.
Refs are out there. Caught him again. So they're following my instructions, Dan.
Well, and this Murphy defense is pretty active, you know.
Got to do something to slow them down, huh?
Yeah, and sometimes you got to do what's not, allowed in the rules. If you're grabbing at somebody that's quicker than you, you're just trying to do whatever you can.
Holding on the offensive team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
Now we got first and long and really long here
Are these
for McGill. I think
this is a makeup, right, from the Daphne game?
Yeah, exactly. Quick out to Workman. And first and 23.
And just what Murphy won't, let him catch it underneath, come up and make the play, and then it's over.
With 15 seconds left in the half.
Yep. Don't let anything get cheap behind you.
15 seconds left until we turn perfectly good lights off to replace them.
Well, Jim, we'll let you go try it with them on and pull that breaker out.
Preventative maintenance. I don't know if we need to do it tonight. That was my suggestion.
I got you.
But off to Hill, looking to get to the far side. And much of a pickup there. Covered a lot of ground, but nowhere to cut it back to the inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you're right there, Jim. We ought to go off faith here, this McGill Catholic, that the lights will stay on, and let's come out and do it in the morning.
That the corrosion won't finally
win.
Overwhelm it.
Evil will not ooze in there.
Vic and I are holding hands right now.
And that's different from what we Bill. And what will be, barring a penalty, the last play of the first half, and there isn't one. I think if you're the Murphy Panthers, the way this game started, down 7-0 early after a bad series, and then a turnover.
Of the coaches over there exuberant about where they are.
And then you turn it over on the next series, and all of a sudden you go to the half, and it's 7-7 against your big rival that you have not had much success with as of late.
Yeah, and quite frankly, you're kind of taking it to them.
All right, let's go down to Tara. She's got Coach Hill from McGill.
Coach, you said if you were able to control the big plays that you would be successful tonight. I want to highlight one play in particular where Murphy runs it up the middle. Looks like it's going to be good for a touchdown out of nowhere. Eric Garrow punches it from behind, and then the Yellow Jackets recover it. Talk about the momentum that gave your team and then Garrow's performance so far in this game.
Well, bottom line, they called a great play on my call, and but, Eric came up from behind, and we work that every day. We practice that every day, so that wasn't any surprise.
And we talk about overcoming adversity all the time, but you can't practice overcoming a light outage. What were you telling your team during that time to keep them focused?
Just relax, and the lights will be back on in a few minutes, and, it's adversity, so, they just got to, overcome that.
All right, thank you. Good luck, Coach.
Coach Ernest Hill here for the McGill-Toolen Yellow Jackets. His team tied 7-7. Player of the game, as we do every week. We give you 3 to choose from at the end of the game. Last week, boy, it was so close. Matthew Quinn, the kicker, getting over 3,000 votes, and Connor Hegan getting over 3,000 votes as well. Our Alabama Orthopedic Clinic player of the game, Connor Hegan. Boy, he's just really a kid who blossomed late in the year last year for Spanish Fort. He's going to be, he's the go-to guy running the football for the Toros.
There weren't many great plays offensively for Spanish Fort, but when it happened, often it was him.
Especially late in the game.
Yeah, late in the game is when they got things going a little bit. Came from behind and were able to secure a victory on the last play of the game with a short field goal.
Just edged out Matthew Quinn in the voting. Quinn with 3,100 votes and change, and Hegan with 3,200 and change. Tonight, you'll be able to go to local15tv.com and click on the high school game of the week and vote for your player of the week. We'll take a timeout, and if the lights stay on, we'll have the Murphy Band coming up right after this on UTV 44. We got a good one here in the Battle of Mobile for the Cannon. 7-7 Yellow Jackets of McGill and Murphy Panthers all tied up. Time for our Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. Let's go down and enjoy the Murphy Panther Band. Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson halftime show. Saw the Murphy Band, and now let's go down and enjoy the McGill Band. There you see our halftime score. This has been one of the more evenly matched McGill-Murphy games we've had in several years here on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Big Pocket up in the booth. The lights are still on, so that's good. We got that going for us. Like I said before the half, Murphy came out, terrible start, but then they really took control of that first half about midway through the first quarter.
I think once we see the stat line, we're going to see that Murphy really did win the line of scrimmage.
Sure.
And they started making some plays, and I think along with making the plays, they're gaining confidence that this game is as much theirs as it is McGill.
Absolutely, and McGill, they're just McGill, fundamentally sound. Going to take care of the balance of the defense and just play football until you make a mistake.
Here was the bad punt. This is the first series, and Murphy, after a penalty on first down, backed themselves back up, and then bad snap. Darnell Thomas had to go through his legs, and then that brought a quick touchdown pass here to Brian Hill to get McGill on top. And then next series, okay, so here, Anthony Miller's got something going for the Murphy Panthers after 54 yards. Eric Guerra tracks him down from behind. Ball gets loose, batted around a few times. Finally, McGill recovers in the end zone for a touchback, and then Murphy plays some good defense, comes up some stands, and they get a touchdown of their own on the touchdown pass there to Michael Jefferson. And we look at the total yardage he had, Dan. 130 yards for Murphy, 66 for McGill. And also Murphy stopped twice down inside McGill territory, inside the 35-yard line on fourth down situations. And you see, there's where we're at right now, 7-7. Let's go down to Tara as we get ready for the kickoff. She is going to give us an update on Murphy. Tara.
He's feeling confident going into this second half, tied 7-all with the team that's been to the state championship game the past 2 years. Of course, they've had more penalties this week than last. Of course, they only had 2 in last week's game. If they clean some things up, just play Murphy ball, he's feeling good about his chances. Tyler
McLaughlin, we talked about him as a big receiver, takes the short kick and runs it all the way to the near side and ends up at the 32-yard line. And
short stepper there.
You know, Mick, we talked about this last week in the Spanish Fort Davidson game. Interesting to see any small changes, adjustments these coaching staffs make in a 7-7 game at the half.
Well, we are accustomed to seeing McGill come out of the half and always make adjustments and seems to take over the football game. But this year, it looks a little bit different. Murphy team looks like they're going to play step for step with them, judging just off the first half.
Yep, they look good.
Sheldon Lehman wants to keep it himself. Haven't seen this tonight, and he pulls it down to the right side and steps out of bounds, but he'll still pick up 6 on the play.
But you see that just little thing right there, Dan, number 20, staying home, maintaining his leverage on the outside. In years past, we'd see him all out of position, and McGill would just take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're making McGill earn everything.
Exactly. And thank you, Murphy, for giving us a game.
They'll give Lehman 7 there on first down. Now ball's on the ground, recovered by the Murphy Panthers. It falls right at the feet. Kendall Adams, that's an unforced turnover as it just was dropped. I think Tim King might have been the one that actually fell, but watch this.
Yeah, that mesh point there, it's an option for him to give or keep. Sometimes those guys will get right in that gray area mentally and not know whether they're going to give it or keep it, and, ball ends up on the ground. Yeah. Defense gets the football.
Tim King looks down. It's right at his feet.
Well, and I think some of the mix-up there was Murphy was crashing in with some good penetration, and
he was probably reading.
Yeah, I was thinking Lehman was thinking, I need to keep this ball.
Exactly.
It just never worked out, and that's, again, penetration.
But the back kind of squeezed it a little too much.
Must have.
Great field position for the Panthers. Manley to the 35-yard line. He really had.
So let's see if we can have a role reversal here where McGill makes a mistake and Murphy capitalizes on it. Because that's how McGill got their first points. Murphy buffed the punt, and they get the short field, capitalize on it with a touchdown.
And for McGill's offense, it hasn't been much more than that.
And again, Murphy got it down here about the same spot twice, and they were stopped by the McGill defense. Got to come away with some points when you get it down in this area if you're the Panthers. And now dropping the ball is Manley, and he falls on it, said he was down, and then dropped it again.
Same sort of thing.
And and Guerra picked it up, but Manley was just trying to hop on that ball.
I've seen that coach many, many times, and I still don't know how they just execute this little thing here.
Oh, that was from
putting that ball in and deciding to pull it out.
Yeah, but I think that was a bobble from the start.
Yeah, but you know what? And he was never down. That should be McGill's football. He was never down in possession of that football.
I didn't think he was at first glance, but
wow, if we had a chance to see that again, that's
missed call.
Murphy gets a big break there. Let's watch. So it's bobbled from the get-go. Let's watch here. So he's bobbling it right here. Now he never gets it. Eric Garrett comes in and picks it up.
You're absolutely right.
Well, defense, you're taught to act excited once you get the recovery, so you can play into the mind of the ref, and you should have done that.
And it was the official on the far side that kept saying he was down, and the ball was kind of a little bit under his hip.
He didn't see it.
And he couldn't see.
Yeah.
Couldn't see that. So now from the 35 on 4th and 6, this time Muskegon Barnes says, I'm going to try to punt it and pin him way back here.
Good idea, because McGill has not been able to, muster much with this offensive line against Murphy's D.
Don't want to put this one in the end zone and get a very low net gain. And Gare will just fair catch it at the 12. So good work there by Murphy to at least flip the get a little bit there. Hey, Fusakli's there. Big part of feeding the crew. Boy, when the food showed up today, it was game on. Chicken finger trays, 50, 100, 200, 300 or more if you need it. Best lemonade in town. Order your trays for your football party. Most importantly, don't take the foo out of football, and don't expect leftovers if you go to Lockett's house to have fingers on game day.
Absolutely not. No to-go boxes for you at all, Dan.
Alabama with FSU 2 weeks in a row.
The middle hill up to about the 17-yard line.
I don't think Fresno State is quite the
excitement
of the opener.
Well, any excuse to eat, Dan, is always good.
And watch the Tide.
Yeah.
Any excuse to eat. That's for Gill next week. And then they go to Foley. And then they got some big ones down the stretch. Baker, Theodore. We have not announced the schedule here on UTV 44, but maybe it might be a game here to close out the month of September as we look again. So open week next week, then regional. Baker and Theodore, those you got to think those last 2 weeks going to decide who wins the region championship here.
A lot of talk about Theodore.
As Murphy has a chance to get themselves right in the thick of it after that loss to Baker to open things up. Another long first down here for the Yellow Jackets. So if they got a win here tonight, then those last 2 weeks, they could be just, kind of cheering and scoreboard watching if they could take care of themselves.
This is a huge drive for McGill-Toolen. They've got to reestablish something on the ground.
Lehman looking for Workman and a little comeback route. He's got it. Best pass of the night from Sheldon Lehman.
I like what I see out of Lehman.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't really been highlighted, and he hasn't had a lot of people around him play especially well. He hasn't done a thing wrong, though. Well, the fumble, of course. But he's looked sharp at quarterback.
Yeah. And Workman there ran a nice stop-and-go route there.
Yep.
Or stop-and-comeback, I'm sorry.
Vania Kai, our photographer on the sidelines, with that football coming right into the camera. Great work by Vania.
He's fearless, even though he's 4 foot nothing.
He's as good as anybody at any place shooting football. And I had a guy who works at the NFL Network who's worked with Vania, and he said he's as good as anybody I've ever worked with.
Wow. High regards there.
He'll be gone Monday, Jim. Good going.
2nd and 9. Hill with a little gap and squirts up to the 45, the 46-yard line.
Well, Jim's all about promoting talent, I can tell you that.
3rd and short coming up here for the Jackets.
He's got some talent. Hill is he's going to be a big part of this thing for the Yellow Jackets if they're able to kind of persist and get something going offensively, because he's one of those players that doesn't need too much.
Right.
He can make a lot out of a little crease.
3rd and a yard here for McGill. Go right back to.
Wow, Dan, look at Murphy's scratch and claw in there.
Yep, I love it.
Well, I think Let's see. This is going to be, he's
going to give it to him, but they didn't let him get it easy. Just like Dan was saying, they're making him earn every yard.
I think it was the first surge that he got it there. Another long first down for the Yellow Jackets. So at the 48, McGill with a fresh set of downs. We approach the halfway point. Just, you take the lighting delay out of this game, like the pace has been very, very good up-tempo pace by both teams. Motion to the near side. They fake the handoff. They give it off to Hill. Hill up ahead for a couple. Let's go back down to Kara. She's now got another Coastal Alabama Community College Educator Spotlight.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm joined with Lisa Robertson, the Assistant Principal of Academic Affairs. And Lisa, talk about the teachers here at McGill-Toolen High School.
We have an incredibly talented, gifted faculty. We have 77 teachers. Almost 62% of them have advanced degrees, 4 have PhDs. They work so hard to make our students successful for the next step, which is college. They do all kinds of fun things to make themselves who spent the summer history and all over the country. Yes, we have wonderful kids who are going on to college when they leave us. They're very well prepared. If you just look at our test scores, there's proof of that. We rank probably 5 points higher than the state average on the ACT. We're above the national average. We just had 77 AP scholars named. So we have a perfect score on the ACT this year. Marvin Collins, we're so excited about that. And our kids are just well prepared when they leave us.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lisa.
Welcome.
All right, thanks, Tara. Wow, and good-looking drive. Dan said it was an important one for McGill, and they've got it down inside the 20. A heat timeout will come back and get you reset here halfway through the third. McGill and Murphy doing battle here at the Lips. 7-7 on UTV 44.
Coastal Alabama Community College is 3 amazing colleges combined into one incredible institution. And that means we're all together. For more sports, 15 more locations, more friends, more one-on-one time with instructors, way more activities, more courses, a lot more courses, and more success for all of us. Pretty much more of everything. Coastal Alabama Community College is where everyone is. Coastal Alabama Community College.
We have had a good one here tonight on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck. Look at the night here for Brian Hill. 18 rushes, 89 yards, 3 receptions, 12 yards, and a touchdown. 1st and 10, long first down here for the Yellow Jackets.
He's making a case for player of the game.
I think he's up there. Rolling out, Lehman looking for McLaughlin, that is, and he can't hold on to him. He had him there, too. Boy,
good delivery.
Yeah, Turner McLaughlin, 6'1", 190. If you can sneak behind a linebacker, he did to Juwan Adams, but couldn't pull it down.
I think we found the last couple of weeks that the key to getting an offense humming is the educator spotlight.
That's right. Boy.
Once we go away, the action picks up on the field. Huh?
Boy, I think that's one Yellow Jackets there. We dialed that one up perfectly and had it ready to go.
Looked like it was thrown pretty well.
Oh, they had an illegal man downfield. It would not have
counted anyway, huh?
Right.
Uncharacteristic of a McGill team to shoot themselves in the foot after a positive play.
Receiver downfield on the offensive team. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay first down.
You know, they've called that a couple of times tonight. Has it all been on McGill?
Yep, twice on McGill.
Yep.
And I think they're making that a point of emphasis, look like.
Zach Golson, the offensive coordinator for McGill-Toolen.
Yeah, your former Prattville quarterback.
Yep. We got some Prattville talent here on this.
Alex Page.
Yep, on the defensive side of the ball. Played at South as well. Brian Hill, stutter step, looking for something to open and gets to the 20-yard line. So 2nd and 10 coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Now, Brian Hill, his dad has been the assistant when he was a defensive coordinator over here. Said he really didn't interact with his son a lot during practice because his son was on the offensive side of the ball and he was, of course, on the defense. And now it's a little different because the head coach sees all.
He does. He's responsible for all.
Lehman rolling out, floats it, and nearly, and it is intercepted on the far side. Able to come up with the pick. Trayvon Ross, the safety, read Sheldon Lehman's movement to the far side. The second McGill turnover here. And wow, the free safety. Look at him just locked in on the eyes.
Nice job by that kid.
That's a great job. Second interception of the year for Ross.
And Vic, you got to be thinking the same thing I'm thinking. That's a good-sized high school safety.
Yeah. Moving, reading the eyes of a quarterback, huh?
Big kid.
6'2", 195.
That's big enough.
Is there a coach in the state that loves big safeties? Is there one that isn't, I guess, would be a better question.
Right.
At the 16. Right up the middle. This is Miller. And he's going to have another long first down to the 32-yard line.
Securing that ball with two hands in that crowd this time. Making sure when he takes the trash out, he doesn't leave any paper on the ground.
Murphy fans on the far side. That side of the stadium filled in nicely as well.
Student section over there, lively.
In the end zone. I mean, it's filled.
Good penetration that time by the Yellow Jackets, and no chance for Miller on that one. Busted in on there. Carson McLean and Nick Ruggs. No gain, second down here for Murphy. This game last year was just a blowout. Now, of course, Maurice Robinson didn't play in the game for Murphy, and you take out your starting quarterback. That changed up. Last Murphy win was back in 2014, 48-31. They beat McGill. 2nd and 9 as we approach 3 minutes to go. Robinson looking to pass, fires it over the middle, and he's able to get that one complete to A.J. Lewis. And Lewis is going to have another Murphy first down. Helmet came off at the end of the play, and Lewis, such a big target, 6'4", 215.
Good job hanging on to the football in that crowd, catching the football in the crowd, and maintaining possession.
You talk about all hats going to the ball. Count the McGill players by the end of this.
Yeah, there was only 5 at the start. Only 5 of the 11 were there at the point of contact, then everybody else comes over. And
well, what's new about that?
That's
This
right.
group does that.
It was just a great illustration of it.
Okay.
You know?
This group does that week in and week out, and that's why they're very successful.
Another long first down. For the Murphy Panthers. Robinson, pressure from the backside, loses the football, and it's recovered by McGill-Toolen. Wow. Pressure from the backside. Sawyer Brady was in there. Ball came out. And now a flag at the end of the play as well. It's going to be after. It's going to be a dead ball final. So McGill's going to have it in great field position. Robinson, good coverage downfield. And
yeah, I think he was trying to look off the defense right here and then come back to some ISO maybe over here. And maybe McGill probably took it away.
Yeah,
and he decided to hold on to it a little more and try to move around and make something happen and wait.
What he wanted wasn't there.
Yeah.
And McGill comes on a blitz, and man, they've always liked to blitz.
Oh, yeah.
Carson McLean recovered the football.
And it looks like McGill made another error here.
Looks like after the play, going to be a dead ball foul here on the Yellow Jackets and back them up in their own territory. Let's listen in.
Personal foul on the red team. It's a 15-yard penalty for the spot. First down, red team.
Yeah, but yards are tough to come by.
He said red team. Orange just doesn't roll off the lips too easy.
He's not playing that, is he?
So our third turnover here in the third quarter, and there should have been 4 as a fumble wasn't called for. Hill drops the shoulder. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I see in Hill, is just not the shiftiness and the dependability, but the toughness.
I just saw it myself.
Yeah, this kid will fight you in a phone booth if you can find a phone booth. Or a closet. Look at that right there.
The day they say they'll fight you over a cell phone. That's the saying. You try to take that from a kid and see what happens.
Yeah. Another long first down for the Yellow Jackets, and now this is Eric Guerrer trying to get to the outside. Got a good block from Turner McLaughlin, and Guerrer inside the 10. 38 yards for a McGill touchdown.
Just tell him what you want to do with Eric Guerrer. That's just a pure football player right there. He's excellent cornerback. He's made some plays on the defensive side. He's made some plays in special teams. Every now and then they're going to give him a snap on the offensive side, and look at that.
How about the block by Turner McLaughlin?
Absolutely. Jim saw the key to the whole thing. Give McLaughlin a huge assist on that. Garrett did some good running, but McLaughlin held his block to free him up.
Right at the numbers there to allow him being Garrett to get in, and now Ballard will try to make it 14-7, and he does. So McGill takes advantage of the turnover. That's how their touchdowns have come tonight, both taking advantage of Murphy turnovers. And Eric Gare in for the touchdown, and McGill regains the lead with 2 minutes to go in the third on UTV 44. McGill-Toolen crowd a chance to cheer there after they take advantage of a Murphy turnover and take the lead 14-7. Dan Brennan highlighted Eric Gare in the pregame show, said he can do a lot of things, and he goes 39 yards there in just 2 plays in half a minute. And Murphy finds themselves trailing as McGill gets back on top. Baller with a high kick to the near side. And Miller trying to spin free. And McGill to the whistle trying to force that football free. All right, so now if you're Murphy, you start thinking, well, we got down there a couple times. We couldn't get any points. Maybe left some points on the field. Now we turn it over. Now they got to come back, because suddenly they're, even though it doesn't feel like Murphy's behind in the game because of the way they've played in this football game, but now they're down 14-7.
But you really don't have to do that as much as you just have to look forward. I mean, it is what it is, okay? You didn't score when maybe you should have gotten some points, but the point is you need to keep on doing a good job at the line of scrimmage, keep that run game going, because you've got a dynamic quarterback and some options on the outside that can score for you.
And it's typical McGill. They make a mistake and McGill capitalize on it. Fumble.
Robinson quickly out to the far side, and Lewis took him a little while to corral that one, and ends up being a loss on the play. Boy, just a little timing, it's off just a little on a play like that. And
gives the time for the defense to come over and crowd the football. And that's exactly what happened.
Lose a yard on the play as we approach a minute to go here in the third.
And so we got to see if Murphy is going to answer here. At least put together a few first downs at least.
Now we'll see 3 receivers stacked to the bottom of the screen. Robinson looks that way, pressure coming, and he'll have to hold onto the football. Is nowhere to go. Chinconi Lewis in there. Tamel Kennedy in there as well, as McGill doing some substituting on that D-line, but still getting good penetration. Lewis and Kennedy come in 3rd and 14.
Robinson out of the game? Or is he just going to get a play? Okay.
Play clock at 15. And talked about maybe seeing some of those adjustments, seeing a little more pressure coming from McGill here to start the third quarter. Vic Lockett?
Yeah, got him pinned back up here, so you should expect it.
Play clock at 2 when he gets it off. Robinson over the middle of the field, and it was incomplete. Threw that one behind Anton Noble. Boy, that was into some. There were three orange jerseys and 1 white one there.
Yeah, Noble's act as though he wasn't expecting the football.
He never looked back.
Like, and Maurice Robinson expecting some kind of quick hit right there.
We've played 3 here at the Lip, 14-7. It's a good one. It's the game of the week. It's the battle for the cannon. It's all that. And it's right here on UTV 44. Ready to start quarter number 4 here at the Lip. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, and Murphy to punt to open up the fourth quarter. Good snap. Now Thomas with a good kick. Gare takes it at the 49. Angles back toward his sideline and then kind of loses his footing and tripped up back at the 48-yard line. But great field position for McGill. McGill's defense.
Nice job by Harrison Turk there to kind of ball him up.
Yep, McGill's defense forcing the turnover and coming up with the style. Hey, Tara's got a familiar face down to the sideline here at McGill. Tara.
I sure do, Jim. Of course, star quarterback for the Yellow Jackets last year, but he's chosen baseball over football. Recently, Bubba Thompson was selected in the first round of the Major League Draft by the Texas Rangers. Bubba, tell us about that entire experience because you were up there for the draft.
It was a wonderful experience. It was like a bear jumping off my back when I got my name called, so it was wonderful.
Now tell us where you are now and sort of what's next for you in your baseball career.
I just came back from my rookie season in Arizona. I leave back out the 11th to go to Instructs, and then I'll be there for another month. Then I come back October 7th or 14th, and I'll be home for like 3 or 4 months.
And we're going to go back up to Jim briefly, but we're coming back with Bubba Thompson.
Well, that was a very un-Bubba-like Thompson pass there as McGill tries a little razzle-dazzle, and Chase Wilson ends up coming up with the interception. Is trying to flip it back to the far side was Jennings Clayton, and then you see Chase Wilson, the linebacker, come up with the interception, and that one was going nowhere fast. And now it's Murphy who's back in business, and that's not what Bubba likes to see. We'll get back down to Tara and Bubba momentarily here, but see what Murphy can do. After yet another turnover, Miller right up the middle, and Miller's going to have a long first down to the 17-yard line. Wow, the turnovers here in the second half been crazy.
Yeah, that's one of those plays you're going to look back and you can definitely second guess that one. Now, of course, if it all works and you got a guy dancing down the sidelines with nobody near him, you say,
awesome call.
What a gutsy call, right?
Murphy at the 17. Maurice Robinson puts Noble in motion. Right back off to Miller, who just tries to drop his head in the middle of the pile while he got bent backwards at a bad angle.
Whole plug there.
Nick Ruggs in there also.
Big man, 55.
Yeah, with Arius Cox and Carson McClain. You know, usually it's not just one guy from McGill, is it, Vic Lockett?
No, but this time Ladarius says, I want to lose my weight here. Take a seat.
Just a junior, 6'5", 300 pounds there. 2nd and 9, just underway in the fourth quarter. McGill has dominated this rivalry in recent years. Murphy trying to get back in the win column. Robinson on the keeper, tried to make a quick move. The ball nearly came out of his hands as Sawyer Brady was trying to strip it out, and Robinson a good job to corral that loose ball.
You know, that's not a comfortable position. You and Robinson out on an island like that.
No, but he made the best of it. Good leverage.
Yeah, good play.
Keep his shoulders square. Don't give him the opportunity to turn you around. And Robinson's very fortunate to get that ball back.
3rd and 12. Stay with Miller in the backfield. Robinson looking pressure, now wants to go looking for Jefferson, and it's through the back of the end zone, and Gare there with the coverage and to knock it away. But there's a flag back, roughing the passer, going to be the call, I believe, on Ladarius Cox.
Wow.
Flag back at the 32, so McGill on 4th and 12. What would have been 4th and 12.
Wow.
Roughing the passer is going to give Murphy a first down here.
Unbelievable.
We've had a lot of big plays that have been penalties and turnovers.
Sure.
Kind of uncharacteristic of McGill. This one is huge.
Yeah, McGill usually forcing the opposition to make mistakes.
Roughing the passer. Half the distance, first down.
And then they capitalize on it, but they're giving Murphy cracking the door there, and Murphy's looking like they're trying to kick it in.
Wow. 1st and goal at half the distance to the 9. A long first down here for the Murphy Panthers. Robinson, and they blow the whistle. Had it, but the whistle was blowing
Nice design play as well.
I love it. Lewis wide open, but there's a flag. I didn't get the playoff. Does it delay a game?
False start.
Oh.
You know, you can come up with some cute designs when you've got players like that, too. I mean, that quarterback and that receiver.
It's Tim Porter.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
We've had it all.
And I tell you, talking about design of plays, I've kind of watched Maurice Robinson. He's been pretty magical with the football in his fakes and things like that, that, maybe everyone else isn't noticing to try to deceive the defense.
Boy, you sure like a big target like A.J. Lewis down here in the red zone. They pitch it off. Miller cuts it back to the inside, and Miller bowls down to about the 7-yard line.
This game is revealing some kids with some real moxie, too,
I would agree. Really like Miller, just a junior.
Scaredy cats go home.
It's dark outside.
Not seen Manley here since he fumbled that football. And was credited with the recovery, but they'll rotate in backs in and out here. The Panthers will, and 2nd and goal. About the 7. Robinson fakes over the middle, and they do it up to the right side this time, and Lewis has got the touchdown.
Nice job. See, now they faked it the first time, and then the second time they ran the play, and then they came back and faked the pitch again, and then ran it to the other side.
That was the play to the left they ran on
exactly.
First down.
Yes.
And now
good job by Barnes over there calling those plays.
Cochran on for the PAT again. He's perfect on the year, 8 for 8. It's a big point after here to tie things up for the Panthers. And he does.
So we've got ourselves a ball game, huh?
We've had one all night, and I love it. Love to see this great rivalry be competitive. All right, we have a chance to catch our breath. We can go back down, and Tara was talking about Bubba Thompson being drafted in the first round, going off playing some instructional league ball, and back down to Tara.
Yeah, just catching back up with superstar Bubba Thompson, former McGill-Toolen standout. Now, Bubba, every little kid dreams of being a professional athlete. That's real for you. Is it what you expected?
It is. It's a big jump in my life. The competition is way better than high school. They got stiffer fastballs, and it's a blessing.
And everyone talks about the signing bonuses associated with baseball. What's the first purchase that you've made now that you're in the big leagues?
I just bought me a new truck, Chevrolet. So that's the first thing I just bought. I actually bought it today before I came.
Did you drive it here?
I did drive it.
He's breaking it in. Okay, last question, Bubba. Your Yellow Jackets are tied right now, 14-14 Battle of the Cannon. How do you feel about your guys' performances, and what color is that cannon going to be tonight?
It's going to be orange because I got faith in my guys, and I know we from the Yellow Jackets, and we're going to pull it out.
All right, you heard it here first, guys. Back up to you.
Hey, here's the breaking news, Jim. A guy from Mobile named Bubba bought a truck.
We loved watching him play football, baseball, of course. He could have. There were colleges saying, hey, yeah, you can come play football and baseball, whatever you want to do.
The Chicago Blackhawks said, we'll teach you how to skate. I mean, everybody wants to.
He probably could do it.
I was going to say, would you bet against him? So, Bubba Thompson back here tonight. The handoff right up the middle, and it's Dan Brennan's go-to Yellow Jacket, and Eric Gare has a long first down for the Yellow Jackets all the way up to the 47-yard line.
Ball player, man. Ball player.
True utility guy.
Yeah.
Bubba Thompson was just so much fun to watch, and just a delightful young man. Got a chance to know him, and coaches raved about him, and you can see just talking to Tara, just a great young man. On the right side, Hill into Murphy territory. 6 plays, 34 yards after that big roughing the passer penalty after a 3rd and 12 incompletion.
If you're waiting for McGill's double reverse pass, don't hold your breath. You've already seen it.
Yeah, if you weren't paying,
put that in your back pocket for spring practice, right?
Yeah, if you were listening to Bubba and weren't paying attention, Dan Brennan says not going to get another look. Gare on 2nd and 5 picks up 7 for another long first down.
I like this because Gare's tough, and he can get the job done. And now also you are giving Hill a bit of a breather because he was really a workhorse. Hill was carrying it a bunch during the second half.
Jennings Clayton in the slot. Right back to Gare, and Gare changes direction to the 36-yard line. Well, there wasn't much of a
Murphy had
hole
it
there.
defended there to the defensive right. Wasn't going to let anything go, but he just works his way, fiddles around, and goes back against the grain to pick up some positive yardage.
Let's see how they block now with Hill back in the game, too.
2nd and 6. Lehman throws it out to the near side, and Oakley Coleman with the catch.
Now that's a play I'd like to see Garrett get. One of those wide receiver screens out there in the open field. I don't know if I'd like to be out there with him one-on-one, Dan.
He can defend it.
Oakley Coleman.
And he probably offensively can make a play with it.
Probably can.
Saw the senior receiver there, 6'3", 180, big lanky target. 3rd and 2 from McGill. Hill up the middle. Yeah, tough sled in there. Now Ernest Hill is going to have a decision to make.
I like the play fake by the quarterback on that one. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't see it that time.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. A lot of fundamentals on both sides.
4th and 2. No hesitation here.
I imagine this is going to be something fancy with this group.
3rd and 4, triple receivers at the bottom of the screen, and see if they maybe try to draw him offside or play clock approaching 5. Lehman can take it, gives it off to Hill, and Hill on the right side, and he's got the first down to the 29-yard line.
Yeah,
a long first down.
When I saw the formation, that would have been my guess because you've got them all spread out. You've got Hill still in the backfield, and he can find a crease, and that's all he needed was a crease. And with everybody spread out, I thought their chances of finding that, getting a crease, pretty good.
Yeah, they overloaded to the left and went to the weak side.
Eric Gare coming to the left here, and Gare to the 27-yard line as we approach under 6.5 now to go in the 4th.
Yeah, what comes into the conversation now, too, is that conditioning that Coach Barnes talks about and preaches, talking about his teams are going to be, when he was with Saban early on, he was like, what is this guy thinking?
Surely we're done with practice. No, we're at the halfway point, son.
Exactly. And he said it was to be ready in the 4th quarter. Well, Murphy, here you go. You've got a tied game and you're in the 4th quarter. Let's see what kind of condition they're in.
Bo Hightower in at wide receiver at the slot. Lehman rolls it out, looks his way, instead gets it to Gare out of the backfield of 30, and Gare brought down near the sticks with a high tackle, but it's going to be very close, and I think Murphy not going to be able to stop him before he gets the first down.
Nice job by Lehman just having touch on that football with a defender bearing down on him that looked 6'10".
I think he's passed the test tonight. He looks like he's been the starting quarterback for this team.
Sure.
For a couple of years, not a couple of games.
It is yet another long first down.
First down, Yellowjacket.
To the 26-yard line, and we're going to get our heat timeout. Oh, what a game this has been.
Fantastic.
It's game of the week.
Yep, that's why we're here. 6 minutes to go. We're all tied, 14-14. There's blue paint. There's orange paint. Some of it's going to get used at some point tonight. We'll find out which color coming up after this. It's been a dandy here tonight at McGill. Murphy and McGill 14-14. And the McGill players, as they head back out after the timeout, pointing up to their student body section.
Said, get it up. Let's get it going.
1st and 10 from the 19. Hill on the left side gets a good block and a gap, and he's driven to the pylon, and he's in for the touchdown. 19 yards, Brian Hill. They give you Gare, they give you Hill, Gare, Hill, and you get the same results.
Fast, elusive, and tough at the point of contact, especially when you're smelling the goal line. This kid, He's getting in.
Well, I'll tell you what, from the get-go, they had the right play call because, look, over here, they just got more people to block. Once he seals that in right there, it's just him being an athlete, running fast, and finishing the play.
Stepped out of bounds at the 1.
No, he didn't.
Not at this point, huh?
Mahler does it. The PAT to make it 21,
no, he didn't, Dan.
14.
No, he didn't.
Look at right there. He's out of bounds inside the 1. But hey, it's gone both ways tonight. Like there's been
charity on both sides.
McGill should have had a fumble recovery earlier.
Yep.
So 20.
But I just thought Murphy had bad alignment, and they had the right play call for that bad alignment. Even if it would have been a pass play, that would have been a wide open receiver in the end zone.
It's funny sometimes how a coach will just sit on a play all night, won't they, Big Lockett? They're just waiting until that.
Pull it out at the right time.
Yep. Oakley Coleman, good job with the block there on.
And it happens a lot these days because, these quarterbacks are looking over at the sideline after the defense is lined up, and then they'll get a play.
Mobile Regional Airport scoring summary, 8 plays, 69 yards, under 3 minutes.
How about some parking pass out of Mobile Regional Airport out there? We get a park up front when we're going out.
All right, Vic, I'll see what I can do. Are you going anywhere? You just like to park at the airport?
No, quite often I hate that long walk with my bags.
Mahler, good high, deep kick, and goes out of bounds, however, just kept drifting.
They've got some outstanding bellmen out there as well. There's some good guys out there. They always take care of me, honestly, when I get out there. Just have to walk my car.
You're Vic Lockett. All right,
from
so
the car.
Name the coaches with the most wins in school history for Murphy and McGill.
I was going Glenn Yancey, McGill, and I can't remember his name, big guy from Murphy.
Dan Brennan?
How about...
Is it Anderson?
Steve Stavridis and Lefty Anderson.
If the question was who won't allow high school football playoff games to be televised on TV, that would be Steve Stavridis, but not here. Robert Shaw from Murphy and Ray DeCherry. Back 1946 to 55, 53 wins. McGill's gone through a lot of, McGill was kind of a 500 program for a lot of years. And now Murphy stopped. So of course, Robert Shaw, tremendous coach here, went in the Hall of Fame.
Not familiar with him.
Came over from Mississippi. Was he again all-time winningest coach there at Murphy, and then McGill. Ernest Hill's their 25th head coach, and the crazy thing, it's their 5th head coach in the last 11 seasons here at McGill.
Yeah, a program that's been actually stable.
Right.
The optics of it is they play well, but been a lot of turnover.
Yeah, and if you're a new fan of high school football, we'll continue on that thought here. 2nd and 8. Robinson, big pressure. Rolling all the way to the near side, wants to make a pass, fires it, and Eric Guerra was just making a beeline on that pass, a dangerous throw as he was trying to get it to Jefferson.
I'll tell you one guy who's in shape, Eric Guerra. Talking about Murphy making sure they're in shape for the 4th quarter.
Carson McLean was given good chase.
Yeah.
And then, but good job by Robinson keeping the play alive here, trying to get something going downfield.
We hadn't seen him kind of run it as much as we've had in the past, and I hadn't seen plays designed for him to run it.
No.
Now, he's pulled it a couple of times on the read, but
not big.
That's about it.
Yeah, not big gainers. 181 yards for the first 2 weeks on 15 carries. Rushed for 2 touchdowns last week. Now looking to the middle of the field, gets a block. Now just throws this one away. Boy,
he must be comfortable rolling to his right since they're calling plays that way. Or is it the defense running him out of there?
I think maybe a little both.
He decides to go that way.
Boy, he was trying to get Lewis back behind the corner over there, and now the officials are trying to talk about, should that have been intentional grounding? It's a conversation they're having. That's what I think it's going to be.
Wow, that really hurts.
This backs the punt up and gives McGill better field position. A little less room to deal with Guerra, huh?
Yeah, and Lewis was closer to the hashes. I mean, way inside the numbers, so it was hard to sell that he was trying to get the ball to Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Backs it up to the 32.
during the play, intentional grounding on the offensive team. It was a 5-yard penalty, loss of down, 4th down.
So we're inside 5 minutes. McGill's going to get it back. This is where they talk about that 4-minute offense a lot in the NFL, isn't it, Vic? Can you finish it out? Darnell Thomas, Garrett, caught and dropped back at the 35-yard line. Michael Coleman with good coverage down there.
Predetermined his move prior to the catch, huh, Dan?
Kid is,
but it was just that the player was there, the defender was there.
Garrett's probably been like a handful since he was 5 on the football field.
Hey, our Scholastic Athletes of the Week from the Murphy Panthers, Anton Noble, the senior, 4.41 GPA, football and baseball, member of both teams for 4 years, and taking advantage of the University of Alabama Early College.
Good job, Noble.
McGill.
Give him an early roll tide as well.
McGill from the 37. Both teams with all 3 of their timeouts. And Brian Hill up toward the 45-yard line and could pick up of 8 on 1st down.
What other high school that we've covered would you like to say, hey, make that 4-minute offense work?
How about our kicker, Chase Mollard, 4.08 GPA, football and soccer. All Coastal Alabama punter, a member of the National Honor Society. And dragged down, good work from behind. Coming over John Patterson. Looked like that was going to be a 1st down for Hill.
Yeah. Once he made that little quick cut, you thought he was going to be able to duck under.
That could turn out to be a really big stop here if they can get one here on 3rd down.
Well, the last thing Coach Hill wants is a 4th and now what, right? I mean, they'd almost have to punt it away if they don't get this 1st down outright. I don't know how you could.
So McGill, play clock all the way down to 5.
Good work.
2 when they give it up the middle, and going to be stopped just back to the line of scrimmage was Hill. That was it. Now see if Murphy takes a timeout here.
I'm going to go ahead and make a declaration right here, Dan. I mean, Murphy, for all the proud alumnus that follow that school, looks like they're back athletically here. They're at least playing enough to give themselves a chance here, no matter what happens on the scoreboard at the end. So, we've seen in years past where this sort of thing would happen.
The McGill kids trying to lobby to go for it here.
I'm with you.
A lot of time all the way. Now we're inside 3 minutes to go with the play clock down to 5. And
I think he's going to take a timeout.
He's going to take a timeout. That's kind of thought maybe Murphy would take one there after the 3rd down stop when you were at 3. You almost 3.5, 3:45 to go. So it took them a while once they got the ball spotted, and so instead they burn off the 25 and see if they send the punt team out. Or
good game management by Coach Hill.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, I think that the only reason you had an offensive set out there at all was to see if you could draw that team off sides. I think you see the McGill punt team go out here. I would say I'm 95% sure that's what they will do at this point.
95 KSJ% sure.
Let's go with that. So, you punt it away. You give Murphy a long field. You trust your defense, a defense that has played well enough all night long, and see what you can do and assault away this game on the defensive side. Boy, if you don't get the 1st down, you're asking for it.
Jacob Straub will come on to punt. Not been much in the return game for Murphy tonight. And Straub, Darnell Thomas back at the 20.
I think he's too deep.
Straub with a good kick. Thomas has to call for a fair catch.
Actually, had to take a couple steps back.
Yeah.
He knew his competition.
Good coverage down there by McGill. He had to fair catch that one.
Good job, fair catch. Give your offense a chance to get out on the field now and run their, right there on time. 2-minute offense with 2:34 to go.
Coach Hill showing, that he's been on the sideline and he's earned his stripes. He's now a 4-star general running this group.
We haven't seen out of Murphy. We haven't seen a lot of just quick out passes, you know, what you kind of see in these 2-minute drills sometimes. You haven't seen a lot of those just quick hitches out to the sideline or anything to try to get those receivers free.
He's got some big receivers. They got 2 deep safeties, of course, in a time like this. There it is.
Backfield, able to hold on to this one after bobbling. It was Miller. Miller's upended, but he's out across the 30 for a first down. Garrett with a great open field tackle.
Yeah, and if they would have got the block on Garrett, he may still be running there.
Try to block Garrett, though. Right?
Credit Garrett, huh?
He's an all-day sucker, man.
Yeah, good job. I mean, Miller, kind of had taken off before he'd looked that one in and bobbled it and grabbed it, but it's another long first down here for Murphy at the 31. Down by a touchdown with 2:20 to go. They'd stopped the clock to reset the chains and the play clock all the way down to 10 already. Jefferson, the big favorite target, one of the 2 6'4" receivers to the bottom of your screen. Instead, they come right back out here to Miller. Miller cuts it inside. I think if you're Coach Barnes, you like to see him cut that one toward the sideline. And now inside 2 minutes, Murphy with all 3 timeouts.
At what point is Robinson going to say, hey, I'm taking off with it?
Well, with this McGill defense in kind of a retreat mode, there's going to be room there for Robinson if he wants to take that shot.
Minute and a half now to go, 2nd and 4. Robinson once again out of the backfield. And
a little too hot.
Yep, Miller couldn't hold on that one, so we'll stop the clock with 3rd down coming up.
That might have been a good thing, Jim. Stopping the clock at least.
Because he was going to get tackled there.
Yeah, he was.
No, unless he made
somebody
most of them miss, yeah.
All right. Get those 2 safeties going back sometimes can open up the middle of the field for we saw Lewis coming from lined up over in the slot. He's a big target there. And you like his matchup on a linebacker.
Right. 2 big targets that can go over the middle.
A.J. Lewis, one of those 2 big targets over there. Also, Anton Noble now splits out of his tight end H-back spot at 6'3". Instead, they come to Jefferson. That's a bad pass from Robinson behind him.
Yeah, I guess he was expecting him. He saw the blitz coming to his side, and he was expecting the receiver to read hot. If, you know, that's a lot of pro stuff.
Yeah.
But, maybe that's, I'm just speculating.
Yeah, just stopping his tracks.
Yeah. Because he was getting pressure on him from that side.
Right. He's well behind him, and now Murphy will take a timeout.
Might as well, can't take him with you.
4th and 4.
Make sure we get this correct call. Everybody knows what they're doing and get on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not sure they might not go back to that same
swing pass.
Yeah, maybe
to the back,
maybe to the left, or go back to that same play they just called. There it was there. It was just the pass was behind the big wingspan of 6'4".
Yeah, he didn't stop at all.
Jefferson.
He thought he was running a post or a slant.
Yeah, we got a good one next week. We're back out at 8 Mile next week. Saraland and Blunt here on UTV 44. And more of our friends bringing you our UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. Our friends at Fusakli's.
Good friends there.
Yep, feeding the crew before the game. And Long attorneys. Do you know where your attorney really is at? Long, they're right here. Mobile, born here, their office is here. Go to school here, go to church here. Long, first down sponsor here on UTV 44. Thanks to Bennett and Earl Long for being a part of the broadcast. Here's your chance to be your ball game. 4th and 4. Robinson, same play, came back to Jefferson and incomplete. Good coverage over there.
Good coverage. And I guess he was thinking try to throw it low and away where only his receiver could get to it, but it kind of got away from him.
Yeah, it was too far in front. Gare was there.
Of course.
Same play they ran on 3rd down. So now 1:20 to go, 2 timeouts.
You got to tip your cap to the 4 or 5 different guys named Gare out there.
Hand it off to Hill, and Hill breaks out of a tackle, and Murphy will take a timeout here as he's up to the 35-yard line with 1:14 to go.
Got a lot of fight in that kid, too.
So you could. So, boy, if you're Murphy, if you can stop them, here. Take your last time out. You're gonna be down to like maybe 20 seconds left to get the football if you can stop them with no timeouts left.
I think a lot of stars got to line up for that to happen.
UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44. Brought to you by Coastal Alabama Community College, bringing you our Educator Spotlight every night. Our halftime show, Mobile Bay Harley-Davidson. Thanks to all of those fine local businesses a part of high school football.
Very much appreciate them making it happen.
Give us a chance to sit here, stand here on a Friday night at a spectacular environment.
Kids love being on television, making DVDs that'll be kept for life.
Special memories captured, no doubt. 2nd and 9, 1:14 left. One timeout
spotlight's
left
good
for the Murphy Panthers, or for the Murphy Panthers, as most people would properly use the English language. Timeout here with 1:09 to go. So here you go. So 3rd down here. He'll run the ball. And more of those fine folks we were just talking about.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. Big clock. Greer's, you say that as we get ready to say Greer's?
I love my guy there, Robert Greer.
Okay.
One of the finest fellows that red, white, but the orange and blue as well.
Since 1916. Alabama Orthopedic Clinic.
One of Dan's favorites.
Oh, yeah. A lot of good guys over there.
Absolutely. Some spectacular surgeons over there. And he take care of a lot of high school kids as well to get them back in action, and preventative medicine as well. I went there because I had an owie on my toe one time. 3rd and 8.
You've been banged up at sea.
Give it off to Hill, and Hill still battling to the 35-yard line. So now to get the ball reset here, and you know,
Hold on.
Do you think you're going to punt it? I was like, you almost just think about just running another play, just another running play. Take the time off here at the 35. You punt it. Murphy's out of timeouts. Yeah. So 20 seconds. I think McGill will take their timeout.
Yep.
They'll just let it run down. And
I think so too.
It's not the punt team out there right now.
I wouldn't punt it.
Come out.
Yep. So they did. You heard Ernest Hill get his timeout. 18 seconds left.
Did they just take the delay?
No, they called it. No, he took a timeout. He was there close to the official.
Boy, Hill's a cool customer, isn't he?
You know, he's the same demeanor when he was talking with Tara coming off the field. And It's the same demeanor. So 18 seconds. So now you're really going to. If you're Murphy, no, I thought the same thing. It's like, do you punt it here, Vic, or you just, you got 18 seconds left? Do you just run it? I mean, there's less. It could be a fluke on a block or a return. Do you just run the ball?
If it were me, I just. You can even take the kneel down and run the clock out.
No, you couldn't run the clock out. But here's what Murphy's got coming up.
Yeah.
Mary G next week. Then they're open. Then they got Saraland. They're out of region game, and then look at this. They close out the year 4 of the last 5 on the road. They only have 4 home games this year. And look at that, at Foley, at Theodore, then Fairhope, at Davidson, and at Viger. So they will punt at the 35. So he's just trying to pooch it up high. And it takes a Murphy bounce, but the clock continues to run, and they haven't touched it to down the ball yet. And now
there it is. Yeah. Even if they don't, the ref still got to stop it.
Right, but Murphy had no one around there, so now they have 5 seconds left.
McGill did about everything you can do right on that punt. The punt was sky high,
checked up
above the lights that right now are on. It checked up. Nobody was in a hurry to
That's
down
a key
it.
point, Dan.
Right. Yes, it is.
So and Murphy had the return on. They didn't send. He thought they might have sent 10 up to the line, but they had the return on, hoping they could try to get Darnell Thomas something, but he couldn't even. So I thought we had some safeties playing deep on that last drive.
Yeah. 40 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Robinson loads it up over the middle, tipped and incomplete, and the game is over as Murphy falls just short, but McGill-Toolen makes it 5 of the last 6, 7 of 9, and 10 of the last 13 against their Midtown rivals. And yes, the cannon might already be orange, actually.
Yeah.
There's
a chance.
Yeah, it's some years you've been able to paint it at half. That was not the case here tonight. I mean, this is the best looking Murphy football team we have seen in a long time.
By far. I mean, you got to be proud of the fight that they gave, and they fought to the very last play. And I came in here with the big expectation of Maurice Robinson using his legs, but he stayed in the pocket all night, Dan, just trying to find receivers.
Yeah, and I can tell you too, they're not just a more cohesive bunch. They also have got some talent, and so
which has always been there.
But I'm just saying, don't just sometimes you just think a team is fundamentally sound. That's what they are. But they've been very sound with that talent, and then some of that talent jumps out at you, and it's going to get some people down the road. So I know that schedule looks tough, Jim, but this team is going to be tough on others.
Yeah, and they have. I mean, look at that. They played Baker, who's unbeaten in the region coming in tonight. They played a Bryant team that was a little banged up, and now they play McGill here. So they've played two of their tough region opponents already to start the season in the first 3 weeks.
And no doubt they got their best shot. Baker's best shot in the opener, and McGill's best shot tonight. And they were, they
just week in and week out for this McGill group.
They hung in there.
As Tara is about to catch up with Coach Hill. Down on the sidelines here, they get the victory 21-14 at home over their Midtown rivals, but also their region rivals at this point. And let's go down to Tara. She was waiting for Brian Hill to come join him as well. Father, son, and Tara, let's go down to you.
Coach, you said Maurice Robinson could not be stopped. He could only be contained. How was your defense able to successfully contain him tonight?
Well, just doing what the coach asked them to do. But that's a great football player, and I know he's going to have a lot of success the next game and all the other games behind. I wish him a lot of success.
And with this win, the Yellow Jackets have now 18 consecutive regular season wins. You're now 3-0 as the Yellow Jackets head coach. But all that aside, what does it mean to win the oldest high school rivalry in the state of Alabama?
It's important. It's very important to McGill. But, we ask any of our players, it's just another football game for us.
And this win is due in large part, of course, to your son, Brian Hill. Brian, you have been a constant factor here in this McGill offense, put up 2 touchdowns for your team tonight. How is it that you're able to put on such a stellar performance against one of McGill's toughest rivals?
I mean, my O-line, they just blocked great, and my receivers, they blocked great on the perimeter. They did everything the coach asked them to do, and I just hit the hole. They did everything for me, and they made me look good.
And most athletes only have their parents coach them in Little League. What is it like having your dad, your senior year of high school, be your head coach and experience wins like this with you?
I mean, it's great. Like you said, most players don't have their parents coaching them in high school, but I'm fortunate enough to have my dad coach me, and it's just a great experience.
Are you going to let him paint the cannon with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Brian.
All right, 29 carries. I mean, 29 carries, and then, Eric Guerra had a whole bunch as well. I mean, so what a great game here tonight between these two teams. You were talking about it, Dan. Hey, Hey, Murphy, you know, they might be 1-2 right now, but they got a lot of wins coming ahead of them on the schedule, I think.
Yeah, I think they do. And I think that, like Vic said, they've cleaned up so many things. They seem like they're a well-conditioned team, and they hung in a game that has not been kind to them in the past, and they know that. So hats off to Murphy, but certainly hats off to McGill. They won the game.
Yeah, they've just came out and just did what they always do. And, you know, the key thing that the takeaway we're taking away is Murphy is now back. You know, they've got a foundation. They're playing fundamentally sound football. Now they're able to compete with the McGills and the Bakers and things like that.
And how about this? Everybody talking about, oh, you know, McGill's lost so much. Boy, they lost 10 players, starters on defense. They've lost it. They don't have the players. They don't have McGill's 3-0 to start the season here after beating Spanish Fort and Murphy in 2 of the first 3 weeks.
They get the maximum out of everybody that wears orange.
All right, here's our player of the game nominees from Alabama Orthopedic Clinic. Brian Hill from McGill, Eric Guerrer from McGill, and Maurice Robinson, quarterback from Murphy. Go to local15tv.com and click on High School Football Game of the Week to vote. We've got 3 great games.
We have
to start the season here, and hopefully we got another one next week. On paper, it should be a great matchup. Saraland and Blunt. We're back out at Blunt for a 6A Region 1 matchup. Tonight, it was McGill able to get the victory. They get a touchdown in the 4th quarter and win by a score of 21-14. They're 3-0, 2-0 in the region. And we have Murphy 1-2, but they'll be back. Final score 21-14, McGill. For Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Terry Reeves, Jared Kiosk. Good night from the Lip.